Hey y'all, kiss off. Terry, Rocksteady, good to see you. Lars too, good to see you. So this is gonna be kind of a different thing that I don't know. We'll see how it goes. um, I have invited some of the ladies that I've been talking to. They'll be in when they can, I think. A couple of them I think are having internet issues, but it's just a discussion that, and I really, really want y'all's input because it is important. It's important as to everything that is happening during this time. Everything. Biblical, not biblical. Um, there's Dee, and she's probably hooking up to her computer still. Oh,
I'm here. Yep, I didn't get my computer hooked up because I'm still babysitting this pizza. But it's almost done. It's almost
hey
done.
Gigi, good to see you.
Those
So,
three. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry. Let me
I'm
mute myself.
sorry. Oh, yeah, go ahead and tell that because that's important.
Yeah, there's just three ships out here. Well, my husband's looking it up. One of them's a yacht, and
Oh,
I don't know what the other two are, but there's not usually ships out over across this way. I don't know if you can see it, but that's the Pacific out there, and they're
I'm
right
going to
across
make
from the
you
Arcata Bay. And then they usually go into
ASPN.
Eureka, which is the big city right there. But they're three ships. It's hard to see, I know. Um,
Ah,
sorry.
hi,
Yeah.
Opera's Kingdom.
Hi,
Hi,
Opera's
dear.
Kingdom.
Hello.
I didn't know that would take it off solo low.
Oh,
Play out.
yeah. So,
Okay.
okay, here you go. So, I don't know if you
Oh,
can see him. I know you saw him earlier, Bonnie, when we were on the
yes.
phone.
Yeah, I
Can you
can
tell
see.
that those are three ships out there?
Yes. And they're in a
Yeah.
row.
Yeah, kind of. Yep.
Yep.
One's a yacht, I guess. So, but it's not showing up as any kind of warship. So that's a good thing.
Yes.
Yay! Shoo!
Hey.
Praise the Lord. No warships. What do you got here? My husband's got it. What's he got? He's showing what it is. It's a fishing boat.
Yep, they're fishing and
And then one of them's a yacht. Can you see that?
Okay.
Yeah, cool. Right on.
Good
Well,
deal. But
so
when
it's
she
not
showed it
happening
to
yet.
me, I was kind of like, oh no, three ships in the harbor. They're not
Yeah.
usually there.
I need a spot to put this at. I'm going to mute myself for a second, girls. I'll be right back.
Okay. Hey, Carolina, good to see you.
Hello, darling. I'm sorry I was late.
Oh, you're fine. Hey, D Dog. Thank you, D Dog. Um, okay, so the other day, whenever I went live, Apple Dumpling, it's good to see you. There you go. Well, it's still 90. Yeah, our temperatures have been crazy. 90 during the day, and you're just dying, and then 50 something at night and freezing. it's, it's such a drastic drop that we just can't get used to it. Yeah. It needs to just stay cold or, or something. I found all my hats and gloves and leg warmers and got me some pants and I'm ready.
Yeah, it's getting chilly here too.
Yeah. But so anyway, um, let's see, I think it was the night before last that I was live. And I kind of touched on um, what's going on over there that just keeps popping up continuously in the news, and it's kind of unavoidable to see it. unless you just turn everything off. So I have this little video, and it's really short, but it explains what I was talking about the other night. Yeah, I have noticed more air traffic. I'm sure we're going to be noticing a whole lot more of everything. And no fear. Roar. Okay, I've got to mute to show the video, if y'all don't mind muting, and we'll just show that real quick and be right back.
Abraham had always been faithful to God and, in exchange, received many blessings from him. But his greatest gift had yet to come. Abraham and his wife Sarah were old and had no offspring. Therefore, Abraham did not have an heir. Using a vision, God told Abraham that he would finally have the son he so much wanted. It was nighttime, and God asked him to look up at the sky, trying to count the endless bright stars. And, like the stars, he said that Abraham's offspring would be numerous and inherit God's given land. But their descendants would be pilgrims, being subjected to slavery in lands ruled by others. They would remain captives for 400 years, but in the end, they would find great sources of wealth and inherit the promised land. Abraham believed in the Lord's promise, but his wife Sarah was already too old to have children. His wife believed that God's will did not regard her as
Y'all aren't hearing it or seeing it or anything?
I hear it. I see it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay,
And
Carolina.
hello, kiss off, and hello, everybody. Just getting to the comments here. Yep.
And it's like halfway done, so it's
Okay,
short.
no worries, babe. It's fine. Yeah, it's good.
Okay, thank
Okay.
you.
Most welcome.
someone capable of giving an heir to Abraham. She then presented her beautiful young Egyptian slave to him, so that Abraham could have his son with her. He united himself with Hagar, and she gave him his first child, named Ishmael. The boy's fate was to be the patriarch of a great nation, and his descendants would spread throughout the land. Ishmael would give origin to the Arab people, who would later evolve around the Islamic culture. But Ishmael was not the son who would inherit the Promised Land, since Abraham would be the father of many nations. God again blessed Abraham. Due to this blessing, his wife Sarah, albeit old, became pregnant and gave Abraham another child. Sarah's would be called Isaac, and his descendants would create a great nation. As a sign of the pact between the people of Abraham and God, every man and child were circumcised. The offspring of God's chosen ones started to multiply, but the number of degenerate men multiplying in two cities that were the den of sin was also vast. These were the target of God's rage, cities known as Sodom and Gomorrah.
Okay. Hey, Daniel. Good to see you. John Dunning. Good to see you. So it's my understanding that Isaac and Hosea? Was that his name?
Isaac and Ishmael.
Ishmael. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. Goodness. Um, I was way off. Didn't get along. And one was Muslim and one was Jew. And I don't know if I'm correct in that. And so that's how this all started. And of what's going on over there. Everyone thinks that Israel is the promised land. Does it say that? No, because Israel didn't even exist when the Bible was written. I don't know. But so that's how long that this has been going on, though. The great nations and the trying to claim each nation and the degenerates and the destruction of the cities. And so my question is, kind of, when did men stop trying to find favor with God?
I'm sorry. Could you repeat that? When did man what? Trying to what to God?
Find favor. Okay, like, so, and that's why I wanted you ladies here, because I feel more comfortable asking you all these questions. But anybody, John Dunning, I know you're on top of all this. Hilarious too. Also, yes, well, and I can see that it is not quite as it's being shown. Also, too, hilarious too. So the thing is what they're describing, though, the barbaric behavior, the everything that's going on like that. That's what I don't understand, is how can you get that mentality to, okay, why are women thought of so lowly?
Oh boy, that's your question? Really? You're kidding, right?
No, I'm not kidding.
Uh-huh. Okay.
I mean, to me, the,
Pass.
the woman,
Just kidding.
they wouldn't even be there if it wasn't for the woman. She is the one who bears the children. And so it just seems odd to me that the women are thought of so lowly that they can just destroy them in a heartbeat, or rape, or
By
whatever.
who? You mean by certain religions? By the
Well,
effect?
and so does religion come into that? Is it part of their religion? I do not understand their religion at all. I just
Mm-hmm.
know women don't matter, but we saw that here for the longest time, and then here came women's lib, and it didn't I don't think it accomplished what they intended for it to. I think it might have made things worse.
Who might have made things worse? Women?
Yes, in the women's lib movement. That, do you think that we accomplished anything?
I
Well,
think women, well, the,
so I got y'all up here to put you on the spot.
damn, Bonnie.
Sorry about
I
that.
mean, I'm a traditional married kind of girl. I bet a lot of people don't believe that, but I mean, I told my husband, I said, honey, I got to get you on stream one day so you can tell people I really am that submissive wife, because I don't think they believe me. And it's not necessarily a submissive relationship that we have, it's more mutual respect. It's not, but
And that's the way it
biblically,
should be.
when you ask what women have done and or why are they treated lowly, I mean, women are the weaker vessel physically, and we are the weaker vessel emotionally in some cases, most cases. We
Well,
bleed
that's
every month, we make the babies, we have the periods, we're emotional. Okay, it's true. And we're weaker physically. So the feminist movement, the women's movement, women wanted to prove they can do everything a man can do, and or at least be paid for what men were paid, be treated equal. We had all that equality and rights under God's natural law. We had all that, but it's always, man or religion or government that wants to control and take it away. And when a couple that has that dance down where it's like, oh, the woman's the helpmate and she's there to help her husband, that grates on some women. They don't want to hear that. And if some women don't like, or if they're in a bad marriage and they have to get out, what has happened to part two, your answer your second question is, women have the government has made it to where women are not having to be dependent on men, which I think is great, because that's no way to keep a woman, is it? I mean, so I don't think it's great in a sense that we're dependent on women. I just think, we shouldn't, as women, have to be dependent on the government or a man. And I
and that's
think
what I
that
was
was the
going to
point
say.
of the movement, but it's.
And that's what happened
Yeah.
is the
Hmm.
government took control of
Hmm.
the women to
Right.
where they are dependent on the government. Most of them, if they're because if you're a single mother and working your butt off trying to make it and you still can't make it, and so that's where I understand the man being the spiritual leader in the home and the leader anyway, and because he is the defender, he is the the guide, he's the or he should be. But somewhere along the line, I think men kind of gave up that power to the women.
We started walking out on marriages and walking out. Men were not perfect either. Men, look, if you have a godly man, it's so different. There's no control. My husband can't control me. Come on, please. But if
Love you
there
so.
is a decision that has to be made, or if there is a money thing, or if it's just a really heavy issue and we're in a disagreement, I'm gonna concede and just like, well, it's on you then, that one's on you, and it's a mutual thing. But I don't think it's always seen the right way. I don't think people always see that kind of a relationship. Now the world has tainted what that is, how that looks like, and made it look like weakness. And it's actually not. It takes a strong woman to be able to trust a man to make a mistake that will affect the whole family. Now, when a woman knows that the man's going to make a really horrible mistake, I don't know at what point, you may be breaking that dance. That's different. Every case by case marriage is different. Every marriage is different. So I don't care what, how my marriage is. It's not supposed to look like anybody else's, but if I'm following God's ways, God says, I'm supposed to be the helpmate, and husband is the head of the home. And a lot of men take that really too far. And a lot of women, don't respect their husbands. We're broken. Our society is very broken. My husband and I have had to learn things the hard way.
There
But
it is.
Love covers a multitude of sins.
No values, no morals, and faithful family. And so, yeah, that's
Right,
what I
and if
meant.
there's no man in the life, look at Apple Dumpling's top comment too. And if you don't have a man in your
Yes,
life, and only a woman raises a man in general, we're talking. I'm sorry, but it kind of makes a soy boy.
yes,
I didn't even read the whole
that's what I
thing.
was laughing
Oh
about when
damn,
I'm.
girl, you so right. These damn soy boys or wussies are very difficult to deal with. You're so right, Apple Dumpling Gang, and it's so good to see you.
Well,
No,
I have 3 boys, but they did have influential men in their life. So I guess that's where um, I got lucky, is because they're not soy boys. or,
mm-hmm.
but I can see where that could happen. But I have also
Right,
seen
right.
it happen with um, say an only child. And it's not even that. It's the way the parents raise their children, I think,
Mm-hmm.
is
Mm-hmm.
is the example that we set. And but even I have 6 kids, and they're not all just alike, but um, they have
Whoops.
different strengths. They, you know, one is really strong in um, communicating and making friends, and then one is really strong in mathematics. He's not real social, but um he's a whiz with math, and each one has their strong points, and they're not all the same. And so that's what makes the world go round. None of us are all the same either, and we shouldn't be. But it just seems like, um, we keep talking about building communities, and that's what makes me start thinking of all this stuff, and from the very beginning, and Cain and Abel, brothers. And how on earth do you kill your brother? That's it. It's beyond me.
Right.
And
Mm-hmm.
so that mindset, and that um and these were Adam and Eve's children. And it it's like, how did they get to that point? It it's it always comes to, it seems like, jealousy, greed, um, power, favoritism, looking to be the favorite. And I know that always in the old ways too, it was like the firstborn was gonna be the one. The firstborn always had the um, inheritance, I guess is what you would call it. And so, I mean, in raising those 6 kids, yes, I saw a lot of jealousy. Oh, you favor that one, you favor that one. I treated them all the same. The 2 younger ones, second family, it was a little bit different because financially it was different. It was just a whole different situation. But so, in building the communities, if you got a group of people together and they're all totally different in different ways of thinking and everything, even then there would have to be some sort of discipline, some sort of um I don't know. I mean, do we just let everybody run amok and see what happens, or is there does there always have to be some form of control? And can people actually learn to control themselves, control their desires, their stuff? Does any of this make sense? Am I going around in circles? It's life-changing for a daughter to not have a father as well. She needs a role model to choose a good moral husband. Absolutely. I totally agree with that.
Where are they?
Yeah, to
Let's see.
show
I
that
can't see.
you can't see the chat.
I can't see right now. I don't have my glasses on. I'm gonna
Oh, it's
switch to my
okay.
life-changing experience for my daughter not to have a father as well. She needs a real model to choose a good moral husband. Yeah, I mean, I didn't know my dad, but I had a very good grandfather early in life. But later in life, I didn't have any good man, and so it's a miracle I did get a good man. I was very picky though, you know.
Oh, wow.
So
That's a
yeah.
link. That's a link I would like to have in private chat or somewhere, because I can't ever go back to my chat and get
Oh,
a
you need
link.
that link saved? Okay. Let me try to get
I
that for you.
can do that. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and I could.
I guess I could do it on my phone.
I don't know. Let me switch mine out now.
I mean, I can't put it in private chat on my phone, but oh, there she is.
There. Okay, switching this out. I can put this off here. Okay, comments.
Okay, Kissoff's just laughing.
Why is she laughing? What's she laughing about?
There is no telling.
Oh no. Oh, Terry, I remember you.
We
Send
learn
your
by failure, by God's design. True.
Terry King. Has Terry King been here before? I don't seem like I've seen that name before. I'm so sorry about your son. How awful.
I think yes, I've seen
Yeah.
Terry.
Mm-hmm. I hope that background isn't annoying to anybody. Can you hear my husband's watching TV in the background?
Yes.
You can't hear it?
No, I don't hear any background.
Oh, okay, good. And the dogs are chomping food in the other background. So. Oh, Elaine is so right. Need to stop listening to what they want us to be. Completely mind controls. Yes, and have no individuality. We know you're misbehaving. We know you're not behaving.
You know what? She will. She will find a man willing to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now single with 4 kids. I remarried.
A
And
woman.
it was a package deal. He knew it from the get-go.
Mm-hmm.
With me comes these children.
Yep.
Yes, there are many translations of the Bible. Kiss off, I don't expect any less.
What was your main inspiration for this stream tonight? Like you were really, well, you were in my chat earlier and you were like, I want to talk about all this stuff. What was why? What was your,
Because
what was really
I'm
on your
just
heart?
what's really on my heart is the men, is how do we build up the men? What I'm seeing is women's voices. I mean, almost everywhere I go, it's women's voices that are trying to make the changes, trying to um
Stand up.
to stand up, to preach the word, to it just seems like there's more women doing that. Maybe I'm not sub to the to the men that do that. I mean, I know Ronan shared a video with me, and it was a really good one. And I can't remember the channel name, but it was about what's going on over there and why. And so, I mean, we've heard all these threats. We know what's going on over there, and we know what has come across the border. So, I guess that's my thing too. Is are the men ready for that, or whatever?
They're working.
Or and are we women ready for that? And as you said, we're emotional, we're weaker. So are we ready for our part in that? Stan Sloan, it's good to see you. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
There's Van.
I'm ready. I'm. You better believe my husband's ready. We're ready. What else can you do? Hi, Echo. Good to see you, honey.
Hello.
Hi, hon.
Sorry,
And
I was in the middle of a few things, so I'm late.
that's
Hi,
fine. Get a German Shepherd there, but then again, that's good. It stands alone. Good to see you.
Ready as we'll ever be.
As we can be. Yeah. And but that's the thing is, you know, I mean, a couple of you have husbands, and you have good husbands. I've heard them in the background and stuff when we've been talking, and yeah, I'm with, and I have a house full of girls,
Right.
and so does that concern me? Somewhat. I know what they're capable of, but at the same time, they are women, and but then I've seen where women have stepped up and taken on the battles too. So
I mean, if you got someone at your door trying to break in, you're going to be able to handle that. You're going to be able to handle that. So, you know,
definitely. I mean, yeah.
What other precautions? Do you have a dog? Like, it is about securing you. You know, it is dangerous right now.
Yes, but it's not only dangerous in the home. In the home, I feel secure. It's when they're out and about that I kind of get concerned.
Hey, Larry.
We could just keep our premenopausal, postmenopausal attitude and fightiness and orneriness and our PMSing going on, we probably would be something to be reckoned with. Just had to say that. I thought the guys would get a kick out of that.
I got no problems there.
Sorry.
I don't know. You know, here's what I worry about, Bonnie. When it's time, our boys will be ready. Our women will be ready. The problem, what I worry about is this is happening systematically, like Paradise, Santa Rosa, Lahaina.
Hey, Nancy.
Yes. You know, how they're able to, the weapons that these people have, and they're globally united, so they've got them all over the world, and they're big weapons, and most of us are under the control of, or under the dependency of this system, in every way, getting our food, there's no way to really not be in it unless you're out living off grid somewhere. So,
You know what I thought about that?
what?
They have all these high power weapons. They keep making them stronger and bigger and to do horrible things to people. Why
Yeah.
would they do that? Because they're afraid of us. What if it's because they're afraid of us?
They know there's more of us than there are of them.
Right, but in a collective, but as they, like I said, they're doing this systematically. So, you know, we don't know where they're going to strike next. Although what Stephanie Kerr scares the crap out of me because, you know, she showed us that one of the last streams I did with her a couple weeks ago, and she was showing that World Heritage place, who owns what and stuff, and the land that Obama gave away in America in the ways of bonds and things.
Yes.
But Sarah Huckabee Sanders was quite ferocious this week. If this and all the states need to do what she did with China, because we've all known about this invasion and how they're infiltrated here for years. This is nothing new. Now we get to deal with them and the pro-Hamas people and the government funding Hamas, which is my absolute favorite part of this week. Like, if that doesn't piss everyone off in America, like, at what point are you just going to be like, yeah, no.
And
So
that's
for every other nationality that's flooding in through the southern border.
Mhm.
yes. Well, and look how many of our people in DC are descendants of those countries,
Yeah.
and
They all
they're
have dual
supposed to
citizenship.
be our leaders, and they are right there in it.
They're not our leaders. They're not our leaders at all. They have dual citizenship. They don't have a right. Our
Per
leaders.
the little thing I just sent you guys about that 51st state being DC, what does
Yeah,
that make our capital? Is that actually our federal capital? And we have no border, so are we even a country? That's my question. So why are we following their lead?
And how
Food
about
for thought.
right? How about this? After 3.5 years of Trump, we're sitting here waiting. This election stolen. Is anything going to happen? I mean, at some point, how is he not speaking on these things at all?
yes.
Not
I wonder
saying,
that also.
Exactly.
not saying a word.
Yeah.
So
Well,
either these FEMA camps are for us or they're for the dirty birds. And it's coming down to the wire. And that's what scares the shit out of me. It's
yes.
like, man, you know, people are really stupid. They're really not paying attention at all. They're just like, la-di-da. Everything's the same. Boy, COVID sucked. Ain't it great that it's over with and, you know, everything's cool. Everything's
But
hella
you,
expensive.
But do you see the destruction that did? 3 years.
Of course
How
it
many
did.
mom and pop businesses did we lose?
Yeah.
And how many people actually followed what they were told? And that was another test, I think, was to see how many people they could get to comply with some scare tactic thing that they did. You know,
that was the testing ground to see who was not going to be complying, and I think that gave them the numbers and the ability to know what they wanted to cross the border.
Well, in the last couple of weeks, some people are saying, including Salty Cracker and that guy that I shared the video at the end of my stream today, he was talking about, I mean, basically, I'd heard 3 different people say this. The elitist talking that, you know, COVID, the lockdowns didn't really work, right? So they're that's phasing out, and they needed something to, because people were really people are dying. Another athlete died today on the field right after completing a run or a game or something. It was a Texas high school student collapses and dies after winning a cross-country race, the latest in a string of young athletes dying during competition. Yeah,
Oh
you
my
think?
goodness.
So
Just,
they need a distraction because people are pissed. Their kids are dying. Yeah, they need a real big distraction. Our kids are still dying. That's really what's up here. So, I don't care about what's going on over there anymore at all. I don't care. I
What
care
about
about,
North Carolina, the news you brought it last night?
from the Military Times, which you guys should all be following. They had an article about the Camp Lejeune had a Marine that was murdered in the night by another Marine, shot him, killed him, 19 years old.
oh my
What the hell
goodness.
was at Camp Lejeune? That's where they had 13 soldiers die. They had 3 more that were, Carolina told us what happened 2 months ago. They died suspiciously of something, gas or something, gas poisoning or something like that.
Wow.
Mhm.
There's so much weird stuff going on. I don't believe anything. It's going to make us all so freaking paranoid. I mean, I read a story last week. I kid you not. This was a whole family died except for this little girl. And the way they all died was there was noxious fumes coming from where they stored their potatoes. So first grandpa went down there, he died. Then grandma went down there, she died. Then mom went down there, she died. Then the brother or something went down there. They all died from noxious potatoes. I'm like,
Yeah.
is that
I
really
have never heard of that. I mean, unless they're doing something to the potatoes, because the people back in the day, they would just keep them in a barrel in the root cellar or whatever. Toxic.
I'm wondering if they got their potatoes from from their own garden, or if they got their potatoes from farmers, because those are sprayed and treated and have to be kept in warehouses for a really long time before they're even edible, because of the fact that they release chemicals.
See, and I've heard that about the green potatoes. Something about that it's toxic. I've heard tomatoes are toxic, but
I sent you a old report from, oh, what's that one guy that, just a second. Sorry, I sent you a story from Paul Harvey that he did about 1800s cure, 1800s medication that was being given out by, I forget the name of the doctor. Guess what it was? It was basically ketchup, and it's what we know it today as liquid vitamins. It was made from tomatoes, and it made people better. A lot of people even back then thought that tomatoes were toxic or poisonous. So I just thought I'd bring that up.
Thank you for sharing that, Echo.
Go lay down. Go pant over there. Go. Panters. They're so fun. Hi.
That sounds like, I mean, we should be doing that every day anyway.
I know that was for you. Kiss off. Camp Lejeune is a place where perhaps might be a place. Yes, perhaps one of those. Thank you. Is that a is when they say military industrial complex? Is that like the bad side of the military, or what? I don't know what everybody means. I mean, is that supposed to be secret meaning, or is it just like the military? Because I just call the military the military. So what's the military industrial complex mean? Is that the dump?
Good
ground?
to see you.
Hey, big chap.
Haven't seen him in a minute.
No,
Isn't that worldwide military?
I don't know. I don't know what it means. I'm tired of not knowing what it means every time someone mentions it. I'm thinking it's the bad military, like maybe Camp Lejeune is part of that. I don't know, you know. I think we do have good. I think that, you know, I wanted to believe in Space Force, but have you seen their logos and emblems?
Yeah.
They're not very reassuring, you know, that this is going to be and that's what I do think that I do think that Trump is in charge of something. And maybe we've got these two power families, these two big powerhouse families fighting for control. But Biden's family seems pretty defeated to me. Doesn't seem like they can possibly recover from all that's been exposed. Trump's still coming out clean as a whistle, but meanwhile, the borders are flooded wide open. The businesses are failing. Everything costs a fortune. Places are getting annihilated, you know, one by one. I don't know. I mean, in
And see,
America, there has been an attack here in a long time, right?
yeah,
I mean, was the last time there was an
not,
attack? 11? Was that the last
yes,
time?
that here, I'm pretty sure that was the last time in that way. But so it kind of makes you wonder, what are these generals and people thinking up there at Pentagon with all these illegals? This is obviously an invasion. They're arresting known most wanted Islamists.
FBI list. Yeah, they're on the FBI list.
And yes, and so where is our military? I've been asking that for the past years. It just seems, what are they for? I thought they were to protect the United States and its citizens. So that's why I keep asking.
They have to protect their own borders. The military, I believe, is, as I understand it, is very busy protecting our air and our water, and it's our job to protect our own territory, our own land. So, you know, if Americans want to start going down to the border, I don't know what that would look like, but they've never, has anybody, there were Minutemen, right? They tried that. Then they got infiltrated, didn't they?
I think one of the things that people forget is that during the Obama administration, the Constitution does not apply within, I think it's 4 miles of every border in the United States, or around the United States, our border.
So
what we do there, we can't consciously do as going by our constitutional oath, I guess you would say.
okay, but
It
then
wouldn't apply there.
But what about when somebody was going out there and putting up wire, and then you had our federal agents knocking it down?
Right.
The National Guard is there tasking for our citizens, is it? Because it looks like when we watch that Anthony Aurelio, they're just pouring over the border.
It
Flooding.
looks to me like the National Guard is helping the Border Patrol to process people. That's it.
The U.S. has 1.3 million active duty military. Is that right? We need to worry that we sent 10,000. So no need to worry. Okay. Well, I got a cousin who just got sent to Germany. She just graduated with honors. Matter of fact. Very exciting.
Construct.
What else were you thinking about, Bonnie? You were saying something about the young people. You're watching when I was sharing the Arcata protests today, which I did remove off my YouTube channel, but I did do a stream. You can watch it on Rumble. I shared just a couple quick clips of the Palestine march in Arcata today. I
Yes.
don't think you guys have to worry about any of these California people, like, because at the end they're like, rise up, rise up, rise up. And I'm just looking at them like, there's nothing to worry about here. Okay, nothing.
Well,
but it,
and that's it, is what's driving them, because, you know,
the media,
yes, because
only the media.
what's happening is they're putting the generations against each other. And
They've been doing that a long time.
yes, and you know, yeah, there's always been a tiny bit of a rift. Not with my mother so much. She was willing to listen to my music, and I'd listen to hers, and so we didn't really have a conflict like I've seen some families with the they're like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, these kids these days, and stuff like that. I never really heard that. It was just, well, I had free reign. I'll admit it. I didn't have any uh, structure or discipline except for my grandmother. If my grandmother was around, it was a whole different ball game. But with my mom, it was. I was gone for 3 days to a concert with a bunch of strangers and not a question asked. I mean, so I think that's why I'm so overprotective of my kids, because no.
Giving free passes daily to unknown people. Yeah, I think the thing is about the border, it's like, I don't think any of us here have a problem with immigrants at all. I think it really has to do with the kind of immigrants that are coming. Because no country just lets their enemies pour in. And oh, by the way, here's some money. Here's a hotel room. Here's where you go get your needles. Here's where you go get your this and your that and everything else you need.
Well,
There's
see that.
videos circulating about UN people being here getting paid $3,000 a month to be here. Have you seen that?
To be here. I'm not seeing it in the other countries. In the other countries, all these people are flooding in, but they're not putting them up in luxury hotels. They're not giving them money. They're like tent camping on the streets.
20-inch trucks moving through neighborhoods is a big instant problem in a short drive through neighborhood. 20-inch, 20 feet. I don't know what
20 in trucks moving through neighborhoods is a big instant problem in a short drive through your neighborhood.
Like trucks. Yeah, I mean, that would be scary. There have been there was a neighborhood gang in Chile that was doing home burglaries in Michigan. You have organized crime. The biggest part that scares me for us, which I never like talking about much on my stream because I don't want to sound so damn hopeless, but these motherfuckers are more organized than we are, guys. That's the problem.
Yes.
Okay,
That's
the scariest ass part of all of it is you've got a lot of hate groups that hate us, and they're way more organized than we are. And
they hate us unified, and we're not. And see,
right.
that's our downfall in a way.
Oh,
it is that we have compassion and we have for these people. And so, but at the same time, it's just like, put in my about thing, we'll feed you, we'll hug you, we'll take you in.
Love you. You want our money? You want me to bend over for you? I mean, anything you want, whatever you want.
But
you pull that knife out of your pocket and stab me in the back.
But don't take our hospitality as weakness. It's that there's a difference in hospitality and when it comes down to it.
Oh, you
Hey,
betcha.
Garrett.
I don't feel sorry for a lot of them. No, where'd you come from? What made you start walking here? What made you think you're coming here? But yeah, you can't blame them for wanting to be free, but it's really about intent. Isn't it always about intent? What are your intentions with my daughter? What are your intentions with my country? You got bad
I've,
ones? Get out.
I've
Goodbye.
seen them say it. Did you see them in New York? What they were chanting?
I bet I have. Remind me.
We will outbreed you, is basically what it meant. I'm not going to say word for word what they were saying, but
Was it we will rock you. Da-na-na-na-na. We will rock you. Oh yeah. Well, you just wait. Just try us. We're heavily armed. That does scare the shit out of them. But
and that's the thing.
off one
Um,
by one, it isn't hard for them now. They can do it with poison. They can do it with law enforcement. They can do it with so many. The slow kill with all the shit in the grocery stores, the doctors, the hospital. I mean, it is lit. I didn't used to understand the verse all day long. We are like sheep as led to the slaughter. For realsy now. I get it. I get it. Oh yeah, we are. We're like
yes,
sheep led to the slaughter. You if you were just someone that's so easily influenced by, peer pressure or what's trending in the world today, I mean,
my
how
goodness.
sad for you. How sad for you. A neighbor 4 years older than me saved your life. A man who stopped his car. Oh my gosh. Open his trunk and ask if you want. What kind of child would say, "Yeah, I want to ride in your trunk"? I mean,
Right.
imagine how many times it might have worked for a
And
young
that,
2-year-old. Oh yeah, they always want to go in their trunk, but mommy doesn't ever let them in the trunk because they think it'd be. I mean, who knows? People are so. What a
but that's just
crazy
it.
thing. That
That
is insane, hilarious.
that behavior is not new. That was in the 60s. It's been going on for so long.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that's why I moved to the town where I'm at. Everyone watches everyone. I'm, everybody used to make fun of the little old ladies looking out their windows and watching
Oh yeah,
everything
have you seen
going
that
on.
meme lately? The old neighborhood watch with
Mrs.
the three
Krabbit, Mrs.
ladies
Krabbit.
in
Thank
the
goodness.
moon.
Thank goodness for the little old ladies watching out their windows because they know what's up and they warn people. I mean, you can spread it in this town within 15 minutes. Everybody knows everything that's going on, if not less. It's quick, and but we need that. That's
Yeah.
your community where you're all looking out for each other. And
Paints mixed up and thrown in the windshield. Yeah, those are the tactics we do need to be discussing. Because when the UN vehicles come up and they think they're going to start, bossing people around, I've seen them be attacked. Yeah, I've seen. Was it when they've come in with the vaccines? Is that it? When they've got? I've seen a UN vehicle get totally surrounded and fucked up. I was like, yeah. Let's see more of that. You guys got any of those videos? Send them to me. I want to see it. That's the kind of stuff I love to stream. You talking back to a cop? Are you having success? Ooh, Brock, did you see the one Brock shared today, Echo or Bonnie?
No.
Of a guy that was these cops were pulling a gun out on him on his property. And he was sitting there having a standoff with them. They're telling him to put his gun down. He's like, I ain't put my gun down. You got no reason to be here. Get out of here. It was so intense. But that's another scary thing. You look at law enforcement.
yes,
They're going to be the government's cronies. If Newsom comes out with some stupid ass order tomorrow, these stupid ass people are going to obey it because they're just following orders, just like they did in Lahaina.
isn't Newsom already letting some of the illegals become police officers?
Oh, who knows?
Didn't I
Probably.
see something about that a while back?
New York did. They got busted though. Did you realize there was a lot of they've been busting them because that's all these criminals do. Even Tori says, by the way, she was running a fresh stream today, a new one. She mentioned in one of her streams about the private security firms and how she's going to go into more of that later. I mean, that's like your watered down FBI, CIA, DOJ, 3-letter agencies. All they do is make our lives freaking miserable. That's all their job is. Exploit us, control us, use us for everything they can. And then what? We're just a number to them. We're just a number to these people.
Yeah.
I'll be
Just
right back.
say stand at the ready each day until that day. We are trained to follow orders. That is so true.
From childhood up.
Yes, I was thinking about that. In schools, you sit, you don't do this, don't do that. It was so structured and so controlled. Thank you, Sharon. Good to see you. But then at the same time, we were taught respect your elders, obey your parents, honor thy father and mother. You're supposed to do that. So in doing that at home, till you go to school, you're already taught that. And you respected and trusted people of authority, your law enforcement, your teachers, your all of them. And now it's like everyone's running from people of authority or are very untrustful and leery of them because we've seen them just completely turn another way. I have seen some good stories with police officers. I've seen them stop at the kids' birthday parties, or even during COVID, they would drive by. They had the balloons and everything, and they were handing them to the parents or somebody. Yeah. Yeah. Mother, may I? Simon says. Red brother. I don't know.
Yeah, those are all PSYOP games. Every one of those. And then that chair one, I hated that chair game where
Musical chairs.
Oh, that was the worst. And then you standing there like a reject. It's so bad. All those games were just so hard, but they were also good because they built character. Now the kids they can't even play tag on the playground. I remember when they stopped allowing kids to play tag on the playground. Yeah, because you could get hurt and someone could get left out, and you can't give a trophy for everybody that way. And oh my God.
I don't want to hold hands with Richard Johnson when we're square dancing because he has warts.
Well, you shouldn't have been made to have to hold his hand. That's for sure.
But at the same time,
yeah. I'm kidding. Hold that damn hand. And also, you know what else is sad if you think about it is
that's the one.
Remember the yep.
But
the way children are going to be, hopefully the grandparent situation, like just people in general with the way they treat seniors and elderly. And it's just like this whole, they're in the way kind of thing. I hate that. There's such a lack of respect for life, for our precious elderly and seniors, and we're
Yes.
not utilizing them. That's what I also thought you want to talk about stuff with, this younger generation. Like, what do you see? What did you think about when you saw them marching like that, yelling, free Palestine, Gaza, Gaza, Gaza? I mean, what was going through your
Because
head?
they seem to follow any agenda that is put before them. Look at how they have stood for the trans. Look at how they have stood for
Exactly. Yeah.
it,
Yeah.
all of it. Just, and so in their mind, well, we're the open-minded generation, and we know how to be more accepting of everyone. Well, that's not always a good thing. We can't just be accepting of everyone. And so the older people, you would think, have the knowledge and the wisdom that the younger people would appreciate, but they think because of what the media is saying, because of what whoever's saying, the flipping White House up there, that no, we're wrong. We're the ones that are trying to cause all the trouble, or it's like, I don't know, anyone over 40, it's all your fault.
A lot of these kids also, Bonnie, aren't rooted in church.
Yes, and I have seen articles about that over and over and over, how the youth are turning away from church and God because of the restrictions of it, because it's too many restrictions. Well, hello, that's
Right. It's a disciplined life. And, church is trying to
yes,
teach people how to have a disciplined life. And if you can't be in a place for an hour where you can't smoke your vape, or, have your latte in the sanctuary, or whatever these little, prima donna divas got to have that is upsetting them, I couldn't even imagine. But it's an hour and 15 minutes. Like, our service is an hour and 15 minutes, and it's the highlight of our week. I get to be around the greatest people I know in my community. I've known people there for 28 years now. And I used to tell my kids, if anything ever happens to me and daddy, these people love you. They're your family. And they have been. My family's in the Midwest. So my kid, I was always just very thankful that I had that place for my kids. They always had, because I grew up in a big family. So,
yeah, you
but I
did.
know a lot of churches are really disappointing, and I get that. The Calvary chapels, the Chuck Smith Calvary chapels, to me, they rock, man. They just came out with that movie, Jesus Revolution, and it was kind of showing how they come out of the 60s. I've heard some rumors about a couple of the pastors, and I could tell you the hell we went through with ours. But you know what? A pastor's just a man. And
So a Calvary church is a hippie church?
a Calvary chapel is not a hippie church, but they were, their roots are in the 70s, where when the hippies really couldn't go into a church anywhere because it was suits and tights and high heel, or not high heels, but obviously just, very Donna Reed-ish type stuff. The hippies were not feeling very welcome. So Chuck Smith was he didn't really want to do it. His wife really had a heart for the hippies. And so he ended up preaching to him, and he would go to the beach, and they'd be there with their, uh, uh, dogs, and barefoot, and there were no restrictions. That's where church should be. A lot of Calvary chapels, like there's one up in Applegate, Oregon. You could look it up. It's called Applegate Christian Fellowship. You should see that place. You should see the beautiful outdoor sanctuary that they have. My mother and sister daughter were actually both baptized there at that place. And there's some of them are right really good, and it just depends. If there's a pastor that's gone astray, I mean, yeah, it's gonna be bad, and it's gonna
That's right.
ripple affect everything, and it does turn a lot of people off when they've experienced a bad pastor. They're like, I'm never going back to church again. Some kids have been molested in church. I mean, I get it. Believe me, I do
Yes.
get it.
Mhm.
But I think this is what I think. As Americans, we're here in this moment in time where we're at, and there aren't a whole lot of places that we can gather and meet right now. And the old meme, right? Remember the meme in COVID? We had the taverns, the bars, and the churches. That's why they shut them all down.
Right.
We couldn't conspire and talk and learn what was going on. And now, okay, so you have bars, church, and the bars, you're going to have a lot of drunk people. They don't make the best fighters. I'm just saying. So at least in church, there's a couple areas the church needs to break ties with the satanic government, obviously. But
Yes.
they're doing the best they can. They're just people like you and me. That's all church is. So, and then, you get people that get in there and there's temptations, and then they're corrupted sometimes when they can't be let the Lord keep them strong, because we're not really strong by nature. We're actually quite weak people. But there are a lot. Oh yeah, one of your pastors was having. Well, you guys know what we went through. Poppy Two Bears in the house.
If y'all
Hello,
sub to Anonymous Anomaly, he puts up some really good videos.
Amen, Pappy Two Bears. Amen.
Harmony, natural law. Yep.
Yes.
Pappy, it's good to see you.
Bonjour.
Yeah, we had a youth pastor that was that way. And that's it. My kids have grown up in church too. But then they saw the bad side, and now they're just like, why go to church? And they're a bunch of hypocrites, and all they do is judge. And that's just stuck in their head because they were children whenever they saw it. And so now it's like, okay, but that seed of God has been planted, and I'm just hoping that and we have discussions about it, because they will ask me, why do you believe? Why do you really put so much faith in God? And I'll sit there and tell them. And so those discussions, I think, is what eventually they're going to feel the pull. I mean, you can't help it. I felt the pull all my life, and I kept fighting it. And then one day it was, you want me here, take me. Well, I didn't know it meant what it meant, but he took me all right, shook me around a little, and get your butt straight. Yes, that's true too. I try to take my kids to the living nativities and stuff like that at Christmas, more the community gatherings, the family gatherings, that trying to keep that tradition and make it not so much about Santa Claus and what they're getting. And we are the winning side. Woohoo.
Yes, we are, Pappy. Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
Yeah, sometimes. Satan clause. Yeah, I agree with that too. Wait till Deanna comes back to take my break for a second.
Mm. One of my good friends just sent her grandson on a retreat with church for the weekend. And he's a real good boy. He's like 13 or 14 and very focused on the Lord. And he's got a good, close relationship with his grandmother and his mom. And so,
Good. That's
yeah.
where my granddaughter was. And then she left for about half a year and she came back a different person. And so I keep hoping that she'll get back into that, but
Yeah, it doesn't take them long to get off track.
no. Get out there in the world and yeah, it didn't take them long to change.
Yeah. We just got to pray hard and take authority over any weapon formed against them. So,
Yes. Yeah. I definitely think we need to get back to the old traditions
yeah,
and teachings
yeah,
in the home,
definitely.
not thank you, Pappy. And that's what we were talking about at first, that's what I'm seeing is the women seem to be stepping up and voicing more. We know Dee's got a voice.
That's for sure.
I feel as though the men need to know that they have the support of the women. And I think that in many cases, our men need to know that we're trusting them to be our strength where we lack, if you understand
Absolutely.
what I'm saying. We
Yes.
expect things of our men, all right?
Yes.
We expect certain qualities of men and certain types of integrity, moral standing, and more than that, to know when to be fierce and when to control their temper, but when to use it appropriately.
Yes.
Amen. That's meekness, strength under control, right? Power under control.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
We love our men. This is not a
Yeah.
man hating
Conversation.
conversation.
Here, I'm leaving. I don't think it would be. We all love men. All four of us love men.
You know, and knowing how to bring that out of a man that, no, you know, I'm not against you. I love you as a human being, and I want to be able to trust you to make good decisions, and to do what is needed that I can't follow through with, but I will do everything in my power to do the best I can. And I feel much more encouraged to do that when I have someone that I can trust to be upstanding, giving, and caring. You know what I mean?
There you go. Nurtured as husbands.
Amen. And what Hilarious said is right. Man can listen to a woman, but ultimately a man needs to follow God and Christ. My husband isn't a great husband
Exactly.
because he's listening to me. That's for sure. In fact, he does better if he doesn't listen to me so much when we're driving, particularly. Why did you listen to me? Because you told me to turn. Gotta let that Siri bitch tell him what to do. And I'm like, I'm right here. Just let me be the co-pilot. And then I screw it up every time. I'm not kidding. And I should stop saying that because I would tell somebody to stop saying that because that's probably why they're screwing it up every time.
You forgot you were supposed to be the passenger, not the co-pilot.
I know. I'm a nervous passenger. That's why we don't drive together much. Unless we're on long distance. We don't drive to church together, but we've done that for a long time because we used to serve in ministry. And when you do that at church, I still serve in ministry, but just not necessarily for my church. I'm not good enough to serve for my church because I use cannabis. So the church has a little issue with cannabis right now. So, when they decide to make that right. Now, it doesn't matter that I did serve in children's ministry for 20 years at that church. It doesn't matter because God said it doesn't matter. That's not going to be taken away from me. If they decide that the thing is, cannabis has destroyed Humboldt County in a lot of ways. People have made it their idol. I like all plants. It's not just that plant, but I get it. Christians, the path to a most peaceful life is no drugs, no alcohol. But I see a problem with not being able to use plant medicine because the government told you can't. And you have to obey the government because you are, after all, receiving a big old tax credit, right? So grown by creator, amen. Even the green herb of the field, God said, which is so funny to me that verse is there. It's my favorite. It's my favorite. Well, it's not my favorite all-time verse, but about cannabis, it's my favorite. My ultimate all-time favorite verse. Oh, go ahead, Bunny.
I'm just saying, Pappy nailed it. They like to free range.
Yeah.
Now, what's your all-time favorite verse? I'm sorry, hon.
Oh, that's okay. My all-time favorite verse is eye has not seen, ear has not heard, nor has entered in the heart of man the things which God has prepared for those who love him. And I think it's in 2 Corinthians 2:9. I think that's it, but I don't know for sure. But that is my favorite verse because it implies you can't even imagine how incredible the things God has for us. You can't even as good as you think you can make it in your head, you ain't even coming close, is basically what that's saying.
Right.
Which I think is pretty cool. There's colors we've never seen, just things we've never seen. It's going to be like a constant, how just like a cool nature scene can make you feel peaceful.
Yes.
It's like it's going to be like that over and over probably. I don't know. It's just amazing.
Yeah.
Because the mind's eye is so powerful, and the deja vu thing. How about the deja vu and people saying we're living in an assimilation? I've noticed that people that say we're living in an assimilation are not usually Christians. Have you noticed that too? Is that like the alternative to Christianity? We're living in are there Christians out there who believe that we're living in an assimilation?
After watching the Hunger Games and seeing how things are going down, I'm kind of like, well.
Well, I did hear somebody talking about it in a more logical way recently, saying that they create so many avatars now,
Yes.
and that is what is causing there to be, I don't know, I don't know what is the cause, but that there's somebody else out there like just like you, or like the person that they've made, who's made an avatar. Are we all creating our avatars? We are on social media, right? I mean, so
They didn't
it's like,
even need that. I think I think it's already been done.
I don't know what it means. They lose me when they start talking about that stuff. I'm just like, okay, whatever.
Yes.
What that means.
Can y'all excuse me for just a minute? Dee, I know you got a lot to say. Just keep talking.
Oh, sure. Okay. Well, let's see. What can I
I'll be
say?
right back.
Oh, let me pull up a chair, have a seat here. I've got the floor. Oh, I've got the room. Well, let's see. Girls, what do you want to talk about? They're so quiet. It's like, psh, psh.
I was just making myself a peanut butter and honey sandwich. I'm sorry.
That's okay. We want to hear it, though. Better than honey.
Here's the lid. Getting the table.
Oh, let's see. Well, what happened today? I didn't hear any news because I was in town getting news. Can you believe I was right in the middle of that? I'm like, this is freaking unbelievable. I cannot believe.
It was like crazy town.
Right here in the middle of this march, okay? Free Palestine, free Palestine.
But you were there and you documented it.
I know. It was funny. I'm like, okay, because I didn't really plan on going to town today, but I was, I needed a couple things, nothing major. But I'm like, yeah, I'll go now, I guess. And there was no real plan. It's just funny. The timing of that stuff always cracks me up. The best one was the all-age drag show, though, at the college when I was given the free ticket. And then the guy was arguing me, this ain't a ticket. No, they didn't give it to you. I'm like, okay. Okay. You don't know my God, because that's what just happened. That's what just happened here. You know what I mean? It's like, how, not that anything is, happening from it. But I was praying on the way up there. I'm like, Lord, if you want me to go in there, make it obvious. And because I told you guys when I was going up there, I'm not going inside there, And then that other local journalist, Donnie, was talking to me. He's like, just do it, man. You're here. Just go in there, pay the $15 and just get in there and take some footage. And he drove all the way out here. And so I'm like, okay, Donnie, because he was mad because they kicked them out and they couldn't get any footage. And so I was like, okay, I'll go in there and get some footage. I'll pay the stupid $15. And then the gal was like, well, they're wrapping it up right now. So you know what? Because I had a debit card. That's what it was. I was like, well, I don't have any cash. I only have a card. And she didn't want to really deal with that, And she's like, well, I'll just write you a ticket. I still have it. It was just one free pass. That's all she put on it. And that's why the guy was looking at it. He's like, this ain't right. So, but it's just funny sometimes, when I'll go somewhere and I'll think I'm going to do one thing and then I end up doing something totally different. If you say you want to be a servant and you actually are open to just doing whatever God wants, you better look out, because you might find yourself in the middle of some weird shit sometimes. And you're just going, what the heck,
Was that advertised or anything, or was it just a spontaneous, organic
See
thing?
anything on it. I was all over Facebook this morning. It probably, if I go back and look, I'm sure I could find something. I'm sure some idiot, put it together.
Right.
Yeah, because things like that, don't they usually need some kind of permits or something?
Yeah, to take up a whole parking lot or whatever they were doing.
They're just going around the block. That's what they do for homecoming, and they just go. That's a square. That's the town square. So they just went around the block. Hello, Wrigley. Did you want to say hi too?
Yeah,
Come
but there
here.
were trucks parked and vendors and stuff, weren't there?
Yeah, that was the farmers market, but they keep
Oh,
it so that the square is more. That's all more on the inside when you're doing the market like that, and the band is in the
gotcha.
middle of that too. But that they keep that all open so that it can stay flowing.
Right.
I feel like they used to shut it down, but maybe not. Those streets are pretty wide. They've kept them pretty open. So,
That's the
but
way ours is. They'll put the market on the inside, and then so cars can still travel through.
well, who was talking about that this week was Snafu Radio. I was listening to one of his videos, and he was saying that they totally ruined it in Dallas. They took away all the parking. He had just went to Dallas this week, and and now it's like for farmers market, there's nowhere to park and stuff. And that is the plan.
Yeah.
That's what all these globalists are doing. They're disrupting the harmony of our neighborhoods. What they're doing here in Humboldt is they're creating all these weird, they're proud to be connecting all these trails and stuff, but they're doing it right through residential neighborhoods. So when our enemies come, it's going to be so cool. They can just go right through our residential neighborhoods. Ain't that nice?
Mm-hmm.
We
So
let this
that
shit
brings
happen.
up
Let them do this. We let them do it. I
that
don't know
brings
how to
up the question that I saw Pappy and Navy Vet mention, I think. So how do we know what the UN looks like? I mean, I kept hearing blue hats, but from what I saw in Canada with the truckers, I didn't see any blue hats. They look just like our guys. Like
That's
our
what they
police.
do. I remember there was one that I think he was dressed up like a Canadian Mountie. They'll dress up like your people. They'll dress up like our law enforcement or our sheriffs, I think.
Our military. And then what?
Well, perfect example was J6.
Yes.
Infiltration is the name of the game. I keep trying to say it over and over. There is no good group. There is no good group. They all get infiltrated. They start off good. They all start off good. The enemy has been, it's like the good, good people. We were given the plan and the book and the Bible, and the Rockefeller plan's been out there. How many times have we been streaming and somebody's brought up the Rockefeller plan?
Yep.
How many times? I think at least 25 times in the last 3.5 years. I would think.
Oh, and then
So-
when you think about what they do to corrupt people, they may not even want to be corrupted, but when someone is holding your family hostage or loved ones or whatever,
right?
I think you're probably going to do what you're told to do.
Yeah. Yeah, I just watched a movie. If you pay enough money, they'll do whatever.
That's a sellout for you. That's the problem with sellouts. That's why the message is Jesus. That is the ultimate, like, no matter what, if people don't have a desire to connect with goodness, they're not going to.
Right.
They won't.
And I think that's going to be the big test, though, is, like I said, we are a country of compassion for the most part. Our spiritual walk is so completely different than those other countries that it's they just like, okay, we're not taught from birth that you give your life for God. Like, give your life for God. Strap something on you, walk into a big crowd. The more you take, the more favor you receive from God, is kind of the way I understand how they think. And we're
That's it's
not.
right. And it's almost not even fair to say how they think when they are just someone who was a child who was programmed to think that way. So
Our
that's
actor. Yeah.
so
I mean,
again,
that's their belief. It's
that's their
just
belief, right? 'Cause that's what they've
like
been
it's our belief
right.
that we should be loving and giving and caring. It seems to be the
Well, two things just came to mind, just like flashed in my mind. I remember I seen it as a meme on Pinterest one time. It said, "These words will stop a fight like that." And I was like, "Oh," and you had to read this whole article before you get to it, right? But the words were I am not your enemy. And in the middle of a fight, that can work really greatly. But again, this when somebody's been trained to believe, to hate, and to kill, that's why we always hear this is a spiritual battle. There's no,
yes,
you can't come against that in your own flesh and think that the only way you can beat that is to kill first or to plead for that person's soul.
yeah,
Because that is what we're supposed to do with our enemies. That's what I've been doing with my enemies in Humboldt County. I sound really nasty and I call them all criminals and frauds and stuff like that, but I actually do pray for them
right.
because I have to. I want
Well,
God to break through on them. That's
yes, we're
what we
supposed
have
to
to want.
pray,
Yeah.
pray for our enemies, and I do. But
Because if you don't, you'll get nasty too. If
yes,
I didn't, I would just be so ugly and consumed by the amount of enemies out there now.
yeah,
I remember when I would read the Bible at a time, I'll bet we can all remember reading the Bible and not having a single enemy. I mean, I remember reading it and just being like, I don't really have any enemies.
yes.
Like,
We didn't
I don't really
did
have any enemy. I don't think. I mean,
because it
my
wasn't so in our face. We,
right.
now
I mean, me having like now I
yes,
do have enemies. Like now I definitely have some enemies. Okay, from COVID, the police officer, the job, all that stuff, all that
yes,
stuff. So, but they're not, to me, they're still other human beings that are just lost in a system that doesn't give a shit about them. And they're treating other human beings shitty because that's all they know how to do. So their lives really suck.
yeah,
And
I don't think that we have, as caring, loving people, a full capacity in our mind to understand people that are programmed to be killing machines.
well,
Do nothing more than that or
yes,
total destruction. I don't think we have the capacity to understand that. And yeah, we want to do as we're told, directed, and taught. And the fact that there are people that have no empathy whatsoever for anyone, we don't understand that other than to comprehend it as insanity.
or
yes,
evil that'll make your blood go cold.
It's
Yes.
it's almost like having that rabid animal come into your yard and having to make the decision of how to handle it. You know it has to die.
Yep. And so that was part of it too, is, and I don't know what to call it. At first I was calling it generational hate, but I don't know if that's the correct wording. So like even our own people here, okay? We have people who have grown up hating Jews. We have people who have grown up hating Muslims. We have people who have grown up hating white people because of, look at what happened with the Native Americans. And then we have the blacks, and they have the whole slavery thing. So they hate white people. And so it's like all of this hatred, is it just building up into a explosion, or are we all together? Has everyone gotten over that? From what I'm seeing, I don't think everyone's gotten over that. I think they are hanging on to that hatred of whatever. It could be the little bully that was in grade school. It could be the abusive husband that, you know, and that's where I think definitely that's where God comes in, is to remove all that built up hate. But at the same time, I'm still seeing it. I'm seeing little dents in it. I am seeing people coming together. I am seeing people speaking the same in all kinds of different channels, no matter what they are, you know, Filipino or Chinese or whatever. I'm starting to see more people speaking the same language and thinking the same way, to where it's possible, but do we have time for it to happen where everyone can come together as one? I mean, 9/11, what was that? Everyone came together as we've been attacked by a foreign country. Who do they think they are? And so it was more a get even thing, right? When everyone came together.
Hate seems to be more unifying right now, but I know that's not true. It just looks that way.
Right.
It does look that way. But we weren't in hate when we were together on 9/11. It wasn't, there was a lot of people that knew that was an inside job then. And there was a lot of American spirit. It was like, you know, and when you were talking about the slaves and the natives and all of that, what?
Yes. Patriotism.
Yeah, I was thinking about the natives and the slaves and all that we've been learning in the Constitution class as far as the government that was established. It just makes me think how, you know, there was this righteous government that was put in place, but you had a lot of unrighteous men and women along the way who kept breaking treaties with the natives and breaking treaties with this. And those are your infiltrators. And those are your people that a lot of them had allegiance to England. They've always been doing stuff to give America a bad reputation and taint it and stain it and make the younger generations, they love to, you know, they'll hold on to that stuff. The slavery topic, I was a kid versus today. I mean, night and day. We were coming together. Motown music had just like lit up the 70s and disco, and like the 80s was rocking. Man, we were all wearing neon.
It was not even brought up then.
They couldn't stand it. We were getting together in the 80s. We were We were molding together like peanut butter and jelly, man. We were like, fuck
Yep.
racism in the 80s. You know what? That's why Gen X rocks. We're taking
Yeah.
care of our parents and we're taking care of our kids. So anyone who wants to say shit about Gen X, right here. You know,
Right.
really, seriously.
Kids, grandkids, everybody.
All of them,
Taking
all
care
and
of
paying for
everybody.
fucking loans too on top of it, which I don't care. You know, I don't care about money. It's money ain't my god. Whatever.
And we're
With
sitting up here on YouTube trying to figure out how to straighten out all this crap.
here we
A
are,
long year doing all
or
that.
going on year 4. I don't know. Or we're the elders thinkers. We just got our name.
Mhm.
Excuse-
Echo just
Yeah.
gave us our name a couple weeks ago. So
Yeah.
we do have a name now, tribe, in case you didn't know. We're the elders thinkers. Because we're not all actually elders, but we think like elders. I like it. It's stuck.
There you go.
We never had
Sure.
another name. No one ever gave us another name. I just kept saying our tribe, our community, our family. And then YouTube's a cesspool with everybody else. But our nitty people that we're not a clique. We're all inclusive. We're not
Yeah.
we're the ones that were rejected by all the cliques.
Mhm.
And we're proud of it too, bitches.
The
Okay.
That's right.
misfits, the rebels, the whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. Yeah. Still standing though, aren't we? And yeah, we're trying to figure it out because we love each other and we love our community and we love our country, our own communities, and
Our
it is
countrymen.
still a mess. I can't believe how we're still talking about some of this stuff, really. And it's worse every year. I'm like, oh wow.
Yeah.
This is like I thought we were gonna solve some stuff by now, you know. I mean, I think that we have bettered each other's lives. I know we have for sure. There's a lot of
Definitely.
things that have happened in the last few years with all of us. There was a lot of people were sending a lot of snail mail, lots of people. And people
Yes.
have prayed a lot for each other. People have visited each other in real life. People have grown in tighter relationships. And let's see, I learned how to can. Some other people learned how to make some medicine. I mean, if we went through the list of it all, you know, a lot of times people focus on a lot of bad things. There has been a lot of drama with YouTube, and there's
Yes.
been a lot of disappointments with people in the YouTube world. Speaking of that, I just went to look up, I forget why I was checking. I wanted to check on Liberty Warrior Nation's website to see if I still had my church's prayer request linked to his website because I know my pastor would care. Okay. But I was like, man, I don't know about that. Right. So anyway, I go look on it and it wasn't up anymore. And
Oh, really?
I was talking to Devil Dog. Yeah, it's gone. His website's not up. So all that work, all those
Wow.
freaking t-shirts, all those freaking cups. I mean, maybe
Yeah.
he's just got to pay for it. Maybe his yearly fee just came up and he's like, oh shit, it's $200 now. Yeah, they give it to you real cheap first couple of years and then they stick it to you, you know. And so he was probably maybe not able to afford to pay it because Devil Dog was talking to him and some other people. They were looking in the show, and I guess devotions are running like a dozen people and his big show's running like maybe 50 at the most. So I don't
Wow.
know what's going on with him, but maybe it had something to do with that Rob Allen fundraiser. I don't
I don't
know.
know.
But just that's where I met most of everybody in YouTube. So I don't mind bringing that
Yeah.
that up. I don't like to talk about a lot of people in the past, but he's fair game for me.
Yeah.
Bring him up anytime I damn want.
I think
All
most
that work
of
on that website for what? For nothing. It's not even there anymore. What the hell, dude?
most of them I first met with Hawk.
Yeah.
Did my chat freeze or
I don't know. Did everyone go to sleep, or is there anyone here? I was thinking that. Did the chat freeze, or is everyone just?
the last comment I see is Pappy
It's-
saying hello to Carl?
And
Is
that's
that what?
been 25 minutes. I know. I was wondering the same thing, Bonnie. But you have 50 people in here. I don't know how many people are in here.
That's the last one I see too.
Okay, I'm just making sure that it's not my computer like freezing up on me or something.
Oh, yeah. On YouTube, there's a lot more here. Oh, hi, Indy. Hi, David N. Oh, goodness. Where does it go back here? We
Oh, so
didn't
when,
see chat. It stopped. Oh, my gosh. It's
so
froze
the,
up on us since Pappy Two Bears said hi to Camo Carl. And Elaine said, grown by creator. You guys, we haven't seen the chat since then. I'm so sorry. Oh, shoot.
Ooh, you almost called him Cammy Carl.
so we've missed a bunch. They're talking to us, and we're just
You guys, we're not ignoring you. I swear.
no, we're not.
Whoa,
So
I feel so bad.
StreamYard just froze up.
StreamYard froze. Okay.
So does that mean Bonnie has to pop out and come back, or what?
Your M is here.
I don't know.
You could try to refresh it, Bonnie, and we'll be here. But I don't know if it might end your live. I don't know.
I know.
Do a part 2 if you want. Indy snuck in. Let me see who else is here.
Oh my goodness, we have missed so
have
many.
You seen it all? Terry King pray Psalm 55. That's a great. Okay, that's right around there. And then David N had snuck in here somewhere too.
Hi, everybody. Sorry we didn't see you.
I am so sorry, chat. We love you. We know you're there. I was like, what happened here?
I know. I was looking at it too, and I was like, maybe everyone left us.
I was wondering if everybody else's internet went out.
I know. I was like, so weird. But I didn't, you're not like, oh, no one's talking, but maybe they're just so enthralled with what we're saying. We're not that excited.
We're not that entrancing.
No,
we're not. Oh my God.
The highest I can go up is to hilarious to Philippians 4:9.
Oh, I'm right there at Grown by Creator. I can see it. Yeah. Camo. Camo told Pappy, when or if I ever head south, I'd like to share a fire with you.
Hey, David. Sharon.
Are you seeing your chat now? You went somewhere, huh?
Yeah, I got on my phone so I could see it because I was like, Patrick Lee.
Dr. Robert.
I thought it got awfully quiet in there.
I know.
Is a man.
When you polish the diamond that Creator has made you, make sure each facet reflects who you truly are. Don't let it reflect a facade of who you aren't if you want to shine with real true brilliance. I love that copy.
Shine bright like a diamond. Can you hear me?
The real self. We must have been talking about something.
Oh man, that was too much. Bonnie D, Echo, good to see you. Victor M in the house. Good to see you, honey. Oh,
Victor with the
I'm
sniffles.
out of the
Hey,
way
Victor.
now. They're like, yes, let's say something. Say something. Say something. Happy anniversary. Oh, speaking of anniversaries, poor Stephanie. She went on her 6-year anniversary with her husband. Oh my God.
What happened?
Guys, this is so not cool. I'm going to try not to. I don't want to. It's not funny either.
He was so looking forward to it.
It's not funny. It's terrible, bad, but it's like, oh shit. I hope she laughs about it tomorrow. So we got in our Airbnb in Galveston last night, had a great sleep, wake up to see the sunrise, go to breakfast and the beach, come home, take a little nap. Alan goes to open the window behind the bed, pulls the curtains back, bed bugs in the curtains. We checked the bed and the owners of the place had 2 or 3 hypergelic covers zipped around the mattresses. So we are headed home to preventative procedures so we don't get them in our house fucked up. We're washing and steaming everything we packed. I told her to come to your show. She's like, if I'm awake. I'm like, okay, we're so bummed. I said, so late.
Oh,
So that was her anniversary. Galveston, you suck.
Right.
Itchy, scratchy, man. Oh no.
Shit. My sister had to deal with that before too. And my mom had to throw away. She had one of those magnet mattress pads. My mom did. No, my mom was all into that stuff before her time. She was into magnet necklaces and stuff. They were helping her neck.
Rich Runner. Carl, I'm ignoring panel now. Wonder what we said to
You
make
got
him
the link?
ignore.
Did you want anybody else to come up, or are we just staying us?
It's up to you. So did you see what David said? October
No, I
25th.
forgot your chat's frozen. That sucks. We got to look at our phone. Yeah, it
October
really
25th.
sucks.
2 years.
First live. No way. 3 years. 2020. Well, yeah. 2021.
We'll have to have a party.
Wow.
2022.
I know.
2023. Oh, that's cool.
Mhm.
Oh, well, I wouldn't make friends with a skunk. They stink. No, Carl.
I would.
No, I've had lots of problems, but not bed bugs either. I agree. The same thing. My sister and my mother both had to deal with them, and I'm glad. My mom was staying at cheap hotels all the way as she drove back from California one time, is what happened. And then she showed up to my sister's and gave my sister bed bugs. It's like, shit. Happy ass back to California. You ain't driving and bringing me that shit.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for nothing, man.
She's so lucky. We love her so much. My mom is so lucky. We love her so much. She's a great mom. She's a great mom.
Heat the bed bugs? Why would you heat them? Well, I don't know how to treat them, but that's crazy. Maybe that.
Oh.
David, you deserve to be sick. No, I didn't say that. He just had a giant piece of caramel apple pecan pie.
Oh, you bastard. That wasn't nice.
Hey.
Oh, rude. Did you bring enough to share with everybody? No.
Yummy. Caramel.
Well, I brought pizza, so, and I did share my little pizza with Kiss Off. I did. Unspecified B.
B, good to see you.
In the house.
Oh, Happy had red velvet cake with buttercream frosting.
That's my favorite.
Right, a couple of vanilla wafers.
Yeah, you're always eating vanilla wafers. You love them.
Don't do it. I'm telling everybody here listening,
what?
Leave vanilla wafers alone. There's something in them that's addictive, and they will make your belly grow quick. And other things, your butt, or whatever. It's an instant
I
weight
love
gain.
big butt. There's nothing wrong with big ass. I know. My husband loves my big ass. Thinks it's great.
Warning.
Rather vanilla cookies. Give
Label warning.
It's not a warning from the Surgeon General. It's a warning from us big butt mamas.
Right.
The big butt sisters.
And that's it. We just need to get out and work like the men do, because they can eat all this.
Victor, you are the biggest loser. He had pineapple upside down cake. I'm sorry, Bonnie.
Yes,
Victor.
And that's what I'm saying. My husband, he would eat not just a little bowl, a big bowl of ice cream every night. And I was like, this is just not fair. How does this happen? They work it off.
I think it targets us. We're targeted. There's something in there that guys
no.
yeah. There's something in there that guys can have an immunity to them. We don't. Okay.
Poppy says they're made with crickets now.
What's that saying?
Ew.
What's that saying about
Lemon.
a minute on the lips, a lifetime on the hips, or something like that?
Yeah. Hit that like, y'all.
It's true.
Hit that like.
Oh, those lemon cooler cookies. Those were so good.
Oh, come on. Who doesn't like a voluptuous woman?
Yeah, because a bag of bones is no fun. It just ain't.
No.
Not saying
Well, I
anything.
don't know. I haven't.
I just realized we got some skinny minis up here.
Excuse me.
Oh, I'm just jealous. I know. I'm jealous. Excuse
Oh,
me.
I'm
Okay, I'm the chunky monkey. All right. I admit it.
I'm not
I love
skinny mini
myself. I
anymore,
don't
D.
care.
I will send you a picture, D. I'm not skinny mini anymore. I had to go get some clothes for winter.
Bonnie, are you saying that you're letting yourself go? Maybe we should see that camera. Maybe you should put yourself on camera again. You know, you used to. You used to be showing your face on camera.
I know. And I thought about doing that on deck now that it's cooler, way cooler. But I have some noisy neighbors that moved in, and I mean, y'all might like the music. It doesn't bother me. I'm used to hearing it, but it's
like KP. KP
it's
Heathen says what?
In our language.
Oh. What is it? Your daughter-in-law's husband playing music?
No. This is some neighbors up the street, but it's so loud you can hear it right here.
Oh. KP Heathen said, I didn't get this sexy by not eating. Welcome in, KP Heathen.
I like that.
And that's why I put highlighting.
We have the ladies
because I couldn't see them. Did you see what Navy Vet said?
No.
Yeah, the brothers can't deny that when a girl walks in with a nitty bitty with a spin around thing in her face, you get sprung. That's song.
Whoa. Sprung, huh? That's a good one. I ain't heard that in a while. Sprung.
That's a good way to put it, right?
Yeah.
Oh, no, we're not supposed to talk this way.
34 length, 31 pants. We don't want to know all those things. I don't know the song.
31 ways. Get out of
Mama
here.
T. Are you listening, Eddie and Mama T? I'm going to text her. Where is she? She is going to be in trouble. What is she doing?
What you think? What you really, really think?
What do you really, really think?
Hey, we should do a rap.
What's really on your mind?
Is it about sex? Because we could do it about sex for sure.
No, we're not. Oh my goodness. We have been talking about how to be faithful, righteous.
Sex is righteous. I'm married. My bed is undefiled, honey. I'm good. I am good. I want to see that blushing face.
Some things are too TMI.
Oh, well, actually, my sex is shitty, so don't worry about it. It's really fun.
The cat says women are a thing of beauty, like mountains and beautiful places to be admired, not listed on God's gifts to men. Just keep it in perspective.
Where is he at in the conversation? Was that?
It was just a couple up.
I see it, but I'm wondering if he's behind or.
Am I behind?
No, you're right.
I didn't say that. That's okay. I scrolled all the way over. I'm on time here.
We fell for Shaper Mint commercial. Bought the thang and tummy looked the same. Well, wait a minute. Just because you bought it, did you do the work too? You gotta do the work too. Just because you buy it, don't do the thing. Thigh master, wiggle, wiggle.
Well, if I had enough time, so for this 2-year anniversary party, I would try and go back and get the funniest moments to share, because there have been.
That would
Well,
be fun.
actually, I did find the wiggle wiggle night of how that all started with John and his wickle pickles, and I seriously thought he was saying wiggle, and I'm like, well, wait a minute, what? It has been great.
You got 4 days, right? You got 4 days. So, I mean,
yeah, but this has been an awesome 2 years. I mean, the craziest. I don't know. Oh my gosh. Oh, y'all are just gonna hear me boo-hoo all night when we do that, because y'all just don't know how much all of y'all have meant to me. But all the things we've gone through together, the talks we have had, oh my goodness. I'm just getting emotional right here just thinking about it.
There's been a lot of growth. A lot of growth with a lot of people.
Yes, definitely. And I just hope that really hope I have never hurt anyone, or that's absolutely not what I wanted to do. I mean, in any way. It was just, I wanted it all inclusive. I wanted it like we were just sitting around a campfire talking, but then with the things going so crazy with the world, then it just and like I said, this whole time I've just felt a push to keep going, and it's like I get a message and it's okay, I gotta talk about this. And tonight, Indy, if you're still listening, it totally was not planned. I was over at Dee's, and I had been thinking about doing this because I kind of touched on it the other day, but I just felt that I would be more comfortable talking to the girls about this, because I didn't know if I was going to make any men mad because of the conversation we were having. But what we wanted to do was boost our men up and let them know that we do appreciate them, and that I know that we have some really strong men in this community, and we need them.
Well, the reason why you say that, I think she doesn't realize, is because it's an all women's panel tonight, and Indy's going to have a ladies' night on Monday. Oh, now all of a sudden the chat's working again. Did you notice that?
Yeah, I see that. I see.
Yeah.
And
okay.
That's
well,
what
that was weird. How weird.
It's been doing that. I remember.
Weird.
I don't know if it was at Chuck's or if it was here, but the chat stopped and then it started working again. And now I see y'all again on StreamYard. Yay.
Yeah, good. Yeah, I forgot what I was saying. something. What were you saying? What were you talking about? Oh, just the last 2 years, and your anniversary's coming up, and
And
yeah,
Indy's doing a ladies' night
doing a
Monday
ladies'
night.
That's right. If she's still here or not. Let's see if I can drop a link. I think I have a mention here. I can drop her Monday night thing because that's cool. We love Indy. Indy's been
Yes, thank you.
an awesome freedom fighter. She loves the Constitution. She is all inclusive. She's not cliquey. She's not bitchy.
Yes,
She's actually
she's good
even
at bringing
way
people together.
nicer than me, you guys. She's like way nicer than me.
Oh yeah, she
That's
has
not
a
saying
sweet,
anything because everybody's nicer than me, probably.
great laugh. He's just
Foreign culture neighbor. Nita David. I was going to invite you on. I was going to send you a link last time I was doing this, and I totally forgot. I was like, I want to send David a link. I want him to come up. Not the Israel one, but the one before. I had Eric on, and I had told Eric, oh, yeah, I want to invite David. You had sent me a good video, too. David Knight, you should go live and invite us, and we'll come and we'll be on your panel. That's how it works. You got to invite people. You know, we work this stuff out ahead of time. It doesn't just magically happen. You know what I mean? Although it does for Bonnie. She could set up a stream every night and just cook.
I was gonna say sometimes I don't invite anybody. I just
No.
drop the link in chat and that's it. But look how many people we've got to know that way. You know, they just come up and they want to say what they say, and it is, sometimes it gets a little hairy, and sometimes it's all good.
I'd like to encourage more people that have never been on panel to try it.
Yes, I will not bite you. I promise.
Yes, the other night, Hilarious too was trying, but
oh, did she? I saw she said she would would come on, but she didn't know how. And then you were trying to walk her up. Yeah.
Yeah, and it just wouldn't connect. And I felt bad about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Harry echoes.
I'm magical and I bite. Uh-huh. That's true. Magical biter. Just call me the biting magician, the magical biter. Did you guys hear? Did you guys hear that? Just to change the subject a little bit. That Tucker Carlson came out and said that George Floyd's death was staged. Did you see that shit?
Oh.
Oh, it's good that he did, because when you look at all the pictures going back, he had hair one minute, and when he was on the ground, he didn't.
I got pictures of him at his own funeral on my computer.
Yes, and at the one in Houston, he was. Everyone swore that he was in the car with the family.
Mm-hmm.
So is he really dead?
No, he's not. He never was. But a whole lot of other black people are.
Because of that. I know. Look what it started.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't believe he's dead. Because there's also the cop that was doing that to him, supposedly. He's a crisis actor. He was in several other, I think he was at Sandy Hook and not Oklahoma. That was too long ago. Sandy Hook and maybe just Sandy Hook. But, you know, when they start to, he has a twin brother.
Oh, he has a twin brother. I didn't know that.
Or, George Floyd. Or the cop. Well, this picture of him wasn't like, he was all hiding incognito. It didn't, but I don't know. They were implying he died of drugs. Okay, so he didn't die, that he's not still alive. They're not saying he's still alive. Okay, well, that was a theory. that was out there. I didn't think he died just from everything that, but you know what? Now I'm not going to say that I believe anything about that because I don't know. Everything's a
See,
freaking,
and that's just it.
everything's a psyop.
How much of everything is staged? Like, you know, these news people, they'll get mad whenever somebody says, show us. You know, now people are starting to say, show me that this is true, because we have lost all trust in any kind of media, any kind of government, any kind of medical, any kind of, all of it. I mean, it has all just been destroyed. They don't think so. They're still up and running, but it has, everything that they have pulled and done since probably before JFK, but for sure JFK on, it has all just been a guise.
Mm-hmm. A lot of lies, a lot of damn lies,
Yes.
a lot of lies, and they're killer lies. They really are killer lies. That's what's so hard about it. They're not just
Yes.
little white lies or whatever that even means. That's a stupid ass saying anyway, but excuse me, you know what I mean? They're meant to do exactly what we're in right now. It's just unpacking and unsorting and and just trying to figure out why and what's next. And
that's why they don't like us, because we are digging into it. We want to know the truth. We want to see the lies. We want to know.
Yeah.
And why? Why would you do that? I mean,
for the global control. See it, the Rockefeller plan, right? We've brought that up many times.
Or is it depopulation? Or is it both?
It's all of it. Isn't that the same?
Yeah.
Isn't it all the same?
It is.
So confusion, fear, and chaos.
Confusion is not of God.
And the judicial system, along with all those others. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. 6 feet apart. Why 6 feet?
Because it's satanic.
Even when all that first started, I remember them saying that if someone sneezes or coughs, it can travel 19 feet, and that's without the air conditioner, heater, whatever ventilation thing. Yeah. It was just.
I have an idea. Put a 1 in chat if you instinctively all of a sudden stay a few feet away from people when you're in a line at a store.
Instinctively?
Yeah, you just realize that you just stand away from people. You don't get right up close to people anymore. That you learned through COVID, through the mandates. And it became a natural thing. Now you just stand far away from people instinctively.
No, I'm not putting a 1 in that because I didn't. I don't.
Always did. I mean, when you're up there with the cart, you have the cart between you and the person in front of you. And then I would still stay back another foot or two so they could move around, because I don't like to be crowded. And so I'm not going to crowd the people in front of me. I wasn't measuring. I don't know how many feet it was, but I was just giving them space to do what they wanted to do. It wasn't because I thought, oh, they got cooties or something. It's just out of respect. It was
Yeah,
just,
personal space. But I mean, other than that,
yes.
I mean, how many people are finding themselves, sorry, still finding themselves keeping a distance because that's what they did during the mandates.
No, we hug. I go to
Nobody's
town and I
gonna
see my
want-
friends and we hug each other, and it's
Yeah. There was a
way
guy today
right.
though, at Safeway, okay, that I've never seen anybody react this way before. He seemed like he was I don't know, he's like in his 50s and maybe he's a little bit disabled. But the lady was he was at the conveyor belt and there was a lady and I was just walking by, but the lady was just putting her shopping cart. She was just going next, and there was nothing on the conveyor belt. And the guy literally turned around at her and he's like, "Lady, don't be creeping up on me like that. I'm going to have a panic attack." And he got all like this. I just stood there and I looked at the lady and she stood and looked at me and I looked at him and we just kind of looked at each other for a couple seconds and she just stood there froze and she looked back at me. I said, "I'm just checking to make sure you're all right." She goes, "Okay, thank you." I said, "Okay." It was totally bizarre. He was like, "I am going to have a panic attack on you if you come any closer," he says to her. And we're just like, we're all just standing there like, dude, it's cool.
So the cat says Hulu will show a live documentary video on November the 10th. Do not know if this Kennedy show will be true or not. Supposed to be some uncut footage of the days. That could be pretty interesting.
Thanks for giving that date. I was wondering when it was going to come on.
Yes. Thank you, the cat.
How you doing, Benjamin? Feeling good, honey?
Hey, Benjamin.
Thank you for the donuts, the coffee. Time to make the donuts. Time to make the donuts. Who remembers that commercial? Uh-oh, we're talking about commercials.
I do.
I don't want to talk about
I
commercials.
remember. How about Hump Day?
Yes. I mean, some of them were
Here's
so
the bee.
good. Funny. Yes. That was kind of weird, though, with the old lady saying, "Here's the beef." That was really kind of strange. I didn't ever get that. Because
Where's
at
the
the same
bee?
time, you had Dr. Ruth talking about the beef in different ways. You know what I'm saying? Remember Dr. Ruth?
Yes.
So then you had this old lady out there talking about Wendy's. Here's the beef.
How about plop, plop, fizz, fizz? Oh, what a relief it is.
It is.
Oh, that's true, Indy. Day before Veterans Day.
Huh. Oh, yeah. More division control mass to abducted children. Yep. Yep. But people did it anyway. They masked them up. Even
And why did they judge criminals during that?
I don't
I
know.
mean,
That should have been our first indicator. It really was one of the first
Yeah.
indicators that this ain't right, right? That was all wrong. Because they were afraid they were going to catch COVID, so they let them out. That was literally the bullshit they told us. Well, they
Yes.
didn't want them to get sick, so we let them out. Excuse me. I didn't know that was part of this deal here.
But if you're in a nursing home, it's okay.
Oh,
If you're not, we'll send you to one.
don't even bring up the nursing homes. That's actually they're still abusing the people in those places. Still.
I know
They're
it.
still making them do boosters, for crying out loud. They are probably still making them do boosters. How sad. Lady said, "Oh, she got it in there. Thank you, Indy. I knew I was doing something. I knew I got distracted. I'm sorry." We'll put it in the
Thank you, Indy.
your comments at the end of your show too, and then people could just see it right. I mean, you know what I mean, in the comments. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that, Indy.
Yeah.
That's gonna be fun. she's got a lot of men that go
Yeah,
in
I
her.
think
A lot of times it's all men. Sometimes I see roots there, which is cool. And there's another couple I like. There's a couple there that there's a lady that's on there sometimes. It's a lot of men. I love the men, but sometimes you want to see some ladies be able to. A lot of ladies won't come up if they're intimidated. They're just. You
yeah,
almost need to have that ladies' night. You really almost need to declare it.
B's there sometimes, unspecified B, and then
Oh yeah,
landed
nice.
on Tiffany's up there sometimes talking.
Tiffany. Oh yeah, that's who I'm talking about. Yeah, her husband too. They're like in their 30s, I think,
Yes,
and
Tiff
ministers.
and Landon.
Yeah.
Yeah,
A shim. Yeah, that's weird. They all
she's
just want
got
to be
good people. She brings people together, and
nice.
yeah, a lot of men, because she's got the voice, that radio voice, or the voice.
Yeah, ladies' nights are fun. I forgot what I was gonna say. I was just thinking about something
They are.
else.
I had one time, and I think some of the guys got a little hurt because it was just ladies. And I put on the title, Ladies' Night. Sorry, boys.
Yeah.
Oh, well. Come on, man. You're tougher than that.
Yeah. I would hope so.
I
Can't
think
have
the
a
tough
ladies.
ones are here tonight anyway.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, y'all have any final thoughts or comments, discussions? Yes, we do.
Need to know how to respond to a young lady with green hair wearing a mask. It's very difficult for me to not say something like, you look so stupid in that mask, because I have done that. I'm usually walking by and then I kind of turn my head a little bit. So it's like, you look so dumb in your mask or something like that. I know it's mean, but it's better than what a lot of my friends do, which is they go, bah, bah, bah. They do it. And I have 3 friends that'll do that. I'm just like, oh, that's embarrassing to me. I wouldn't do that, but.
And I could see me just going up to her and grabbing her hand and saying, "Oh, honey." You know?
That's a great way to do it. I mean, to be compassionate, to look at someone and just be like, I would just want to say, it's not helping, it's not healthy, but they're so programmed that anything you say is going to get them upset. That's the problem. But
I'd
when you
argue,
by their hand like that and lovingly say, then they're not expecting that. So, I could see that working.
yeah.
Loved you here, DeCat. What were you going to say, Echo?
I was just thinking about what you had said, and I have actually come out and said when I saw
Thank you,
people with
DeCat.
masks on, it's sad to see so many people so traumatized over something that was fake.
Right. It's like you almost can't even help but not say that anymore after all this time.
Happy you have a blessed night. Thank you.
And when they're outside,
Yeah.
We
that
had this, we were laughing about that. My son-in-law, he was like, they're in the car by themselves wearing one. And I said, yes, I've seen that. And I said, the craziest to me is when they're jogging or riding a bicycle in the fresh air, no one around. I don't know.
Yeah,
We had this one lady at our grocery store that you would have thought she had on a space uniform. She was it was all taped up, like where I don't even know how she was breathing really with the everything. She had on the um the clear cap thing, like I guess a shower cap or something. She was just covered head to toe, and sure enough, she got sick because the doctor's office was like it's kind of a tiny strip mall, grocery store, doctor's office, Subway, and Dollar General. And then I started going over to the doctor's office, and at that time they were keeping the door locked. They weren't just letting anybody in. You had to call and tell them what kind of symptoms you were having before they would let you in, because they weren't letting the sick people in. They were only letting well people in that were needing blood workups or medication refills or something like that. If they were sick, they were supposed to go to the emergency room or take care of it themselves at home until they got better or got worse. But and she was just beating on that door as hard as she could, like, I'm sick. I thought, poor thing. She just
well, when they're in their car, I'm afraid they're gonna kill somebody. It's like that's not cool. That's when I get so pissed about the lies about the mask, especially. Yeah, it's one thing if you want to kill yourself because you're dumbass and you're jogging or doing whatever you're doing, but you're driving a car and you're putting everybody else around you at risk because you're going to hyperventilate. You could possibly, there's conditions that happen to people when they lose oxygen, hypoxia,
yes.
dizziness. Lack of oxygen is detrimental to the health. So I don't get. What do they think they're doing with the frickin' in their car anyway, with the windows rolled up? I just
No.
There's no
This
logic.
one lady,
Good thing.
she came up and started talking to me, and I asked her how she was doing. I'm telling y'all, do not start out a conversation with "How are you doing?" because they're going to tell you.
Lady. Oh my gosh.
And
Yes.
she wasn't old. I mean, she was maybe, well, I don't know what everybody considers old. She's maybe 50. And but she started telling me, yeah, I've had staph, and it was like 3 or 4 different really contagious things. And I had noticed that she had like this fur, it looked like a dang tail that had been cut in half and opened up. I don't know what it was, but it was this fur thing, and she would hold it over her face every so often. And then, but when she was talking to you, she would take it down. And so when she started naming off these things like that, I was like, ugh, kind of backed up a little bit.
Like, keep your shit over your face, lady. Okay. Keep it up. Keep it up. You know
I mean,
those are your breath.
Those are some crazy things that I didn't want.
There was COVID was the most embarrassing time for humanity there ever was. There hasn't been a more embarrassing time for humans that I could think of.
Yeah.
Seriously, that was just an embarrassment. I was embarrassed for other human beings for being so
Well,
stupid.
I fell for it. In the first week or two, I fell for it. It was I had the letter on the door. I was doing exactly what the military and the nurses and doctors were doing. I had the letter on the door. You get in the house, strip down, get in the shower, closing the washer first, get in the shower, just to make sure you're clean whenever you're coming into the house so that nobody gets sick. And
yeah, I remember being scared like that too the first week. Yeah.
Yep. Wiping everything down with the Lysol wipes and the doorknobs and the everything and the counters. I didn't wash all my groceries or anything like that, but I had
No, I
heard
never did
of
that.
some people doing that.
No, I never did that. But
But
I didn't believe Fauci when he said, "Oh, masks don't work." Da da da. Then I thought I tried it. I couldn't breathe in it. That's when I realized I can't breathe in this thing anyway. So whatever. I just
yes,
everything he said, I believed opposite. So, but quickly I realized that the fear had got a hold of me, and I remember the moment I was like, "That's it. I'm not going to be afraid of this anymore. This is stupid. This is just
yeah,
stupid. This is more of their bullshit."
yeah.
So I'm so glad to be freed. I couldn't believe it was like breaking a spell. They put a spell on the
Well,
nation, and
and
Trump was
because I
part of
was,
that too. Trump was the one that was there when all that went down. He was the one that,
yes,
it was all there.
I
So
know. And
these
that's
people,
because I had been sick. We were
Mhm.
kind of doing a lot of that anyway. Whenever I got so sick, it was when we would go to a store or something, you're touching a door handle that 5,000 other people have touched. And so I always had hand sanitizer in my car. And the girls worrying about bringing something home to me, they would sanitize their hands after they would go to whenever they were touching anything that the public had touched, because we didn't know how I had gotten so sick. And so that was just normal routine for them. So the hand sanitizer just continued. But then whenever we would go to the doctor or something, they would make us put a mask on and stick the thermometer on the forehead and see if you're running a temperature. And I would get back there in the doctor's office and I was like, I can't breathe. And I would just pull it off. And they're like, you're fine back here. Well, why am I fine back here? Isn't this where all the patients come? It didn't make any sense then. From then on, I was like, yeah, something don't seem right here.
Yeah, no, we had people were cleaning out in the first couple months when a lot of things were shut down, and they didn't even, let's see, it's March what week? 10th, 20th, something like that. And the mask mandate didn't come out here until she proclamated it in April, but it really didn't get enforced until June is when the commercials were coming out, the Chamber of Commerce, and as you all know, that woman is dead now. I had meant to share that today. I wanted to share that video of her saying, please don't make us ask, just wear a mask. Because after that video of the man doing the 5-minute thing about basically how the gig is up, people are of all over the world have realized this thing was a scam. And I do think that's why this whole Israel and Hamas situation is so look over here, don't look over there, because the COVID thing you are seeing a lot of people being convicted. You are seeing a lot of people being held accountable all around the world and in this country. And there are arrests happening with judges and just lots of, it's so weird. It just seems like both things, it's like, yeah, there could be a good plan going on, but this other plan is so bad that I don't really want to fuck around with it and find out. I'd rather make sure
Right.
that we all are doing what we're supposed to be doing to just, it's so hard when everyone's just trying to survive. And it's like, well, how are we going to take them on? They're global power with lots of big weapons. Let's be realistic here. It's not looking real good for humanity. But
No.
God, but God.
Yes,
You know.
Elaine, warp speed. That's what it
Mhm.
was.
Yeah. And everybody defended him and said, well, it had to be. And I went, I still don't know how this story ends. So I'm not sold out to any idea. I hear them all. I think they're all interesting. And what's interesting too is they all, they all check out. The Q posts and all that, they've all lined up, all that stuff. But does that really mean that we're not being led down a bad path? I don't like being a
Right.
fool. I don't like being made a fool. I don't like looking like a fool for my own self's sake because it pisses me off. And I don't want to be dependent on somebody else. But in this case, it's a big situation. So,
One of my
And that's
frustrations that I've had of late is a lot of the people that led us into following a lot of things like the Q thing and Gacera Nacera, stuff like that.
yeah.
Their videos have all been taken down. They had to restart new channels, even change their names of their programs, and you
Mm-hmm.
can hardly come across any of that original stuff of like 107, even David Nino Rodriguez. Now I'm going to be saying some names that might offend some people, but think about it.
Yeah.
All that original stuff that got a lot of people sucked in,
Mm-hmm.
following and looking at a lot of things, all that original stuff is gone. Do you hear
yeah.
him talking about it now? I want to make that point. How much of that do you hear him continually pushing now?
Yeah.
It's just a little bit of food for thought.
Yes, I totally agree. Sorry, I had to let my dog out. Yeah, it's been pretty hard to have to pretend like everything's all normal as we're looking at FEMA camps, homeless camps where they have inlets into the buildings, and we don't even know what they're doing to China, but I've seen some horrific shit in China during COVID with like mobile
Yep.
incinerator and they do have up in Washington State some kind of goo machine, and there's talk about body bags getting shipped all around the nation. Nobody here needs to be fearing anything putting out. We're not trying to put out fear, but just to hear this kind of stuff, and then to go, like I'll go to church tomorrow morning, and I know my pastor's gonna be talking truth and stuff, but not really gonna hear anything about the vaccine. Or the testing or all the bullshit they put us through. But, everybody's just like, I don't know. It's so weird to be in war like this. This is war. We are in war. There's no way anyone could tell me we're not. And they're trying to keep it quiet. They're trying to keep it down as much as they can. That's what I feel like is really going on. I think there's been a lot of people being taken out. Some judge was just taken, killed. Some guy. Did they ever
In
catch
his
that guy?
driveway. I saw that over
Uh,
a divorce
was
custody
that what
battle.
it? Uh huh. But every day, you look on any search browser. The Edge is the worst lately. Every article is a horrific story about a horrific mother or a horrific another situation, and it's like it's all that they. And whose fault is it? I'm seeing it. Mine. I'm looking at the computer, so I can't blame
Yep.
them. I can't blame them, but you just calling it out and saying everywhere you look, they want us afraid. They want us divided. We can't get together. Can't get it together. When we do get it together, we get infiltrated. It just seems like we're cornered to me. I feel that. I used to wake up and think that first year when it all happened, like maybe today will be the day it's over. Maybe today will be the day it all ends and stuff. And now it's just like maybe today will be the last day I'm here because who knows what's going to happen. None of us know. None of us know
Yeah.
what his next place might. The deep state might decide they're going to just take out like they did Lahaina or Santa Rosa or Paradise. All those
Yeah.
places are the same. They're slowly
Yes.
doing this, and people still don't realize because they still let PG&E be all up in here, the energy companies, and people
Yep.
know it's them, and we're not fighting them off still. I'd rather not have electricity for a year than to have this, and yet I'm living in my house with it. That's a matter of a marriage and a vow. That's what that's about. But like,
Yep.
if I had my way, I wouldn't live on this grid at all. I wouldn't live in this state. I just wouldn't. And I keep telling my husband, and I told him today when I got back too. I said, I hate this place. I want to leave here. This is not the place I moved to when we came here. And, it was kind of in joking and in passing, but I was serious, and he knew I was serious. And he was like, well, I'm going out to build the deck by the sauna right now. It's like, what can he do? He's every day grinding away, just, doing what he can do as a man to keep our asset nice. He works. He's got a business. We have our property. For me to come at him and be like, yeah, let's just we need to sell it all. We need to get out of here because of what? Because of fear? Because when I talk to
Well,
Stephanie, it's not just fear. It's like legitimate concerns about California. And I don't even need to talk to her to see it. I can look around and see it myself.
yeah.
I don't know how other people don't see it. I'm scared to death living in this state. I want out of here so bad. You all know that. But I don't whine about it a lot, just once in a while. Like today in the March, coming home just like, oh my gosh, this town. When I moved here, people had bumper stickers on the back of their car that said U.S. government out of Humboldt County. And now they're practically like, oh, UN, please come here because we worship you. That's quite a switch. That's a kind of different. I'm just saying, it is totally different.
Yeah.
This is a sold out UN global. They want the wind turbines. They want the solar panels. They want it all, and they're going to get it. They're going to get what they deserve. And I'm going to be.
And that's what I can understand. The electric bills have like doubled or tripled, or mine's just crazy. But I kind of like the conveniences of having electricity. So I don't.
Sure.
I'm not ready to just go straight off grid or anything.
No, I understand that. I do understand that. Yeah, I know. I couldn't live here at this property. I couldn't never live on this property. We're 4 houses on one bill. So it's getting, it's crazy. But if you're running a generator, you're talking right now with gas is like $6 a gallon. I did the math last time I had to run the generator. I didn't even run the generator the last 2 times we lost power. It was in the middle of the day. There's plenty I can do without electricity. I do a lot of things without electricity, but it was like,
Yes.
if I were to run it, it's $40 a day in fuel. But, like Doug and Stacy, he talks about how they do it. They'll run their things in the day, power everything up. Night comes, they're done. It's time to go to bed anyway. That's normal life. What are most people doing with all that electricity? They're sitting up staring at their damn screens like we are right now. We should be in bed. No, but seriously, it's a country living is a different lifestyle. I could live like that. I have lived I've been without power. I know at least over, oh my gosh, at least 200 days, like having just random, and 6 days in a row at the most was the most, 6 days in a row. But, and then just daily power outages over the last 20 years. I guarantee I've lived without power I know what it's like. It sucks. I love power. I love horsepower.
So what do you do for water?
Huh?
What do you do for water when you don't have power?
We're on gravity flow, so our water stays our water. We're not pressurized. Our system, so
Oh,
our
okay.
water tank is far above us on the neighbor's property, is where the holding tank is. The well is on another neighbor's property. Our contribution is my husband runs the system. He knows the system,
Yeah.
and we have some water tank backups and stuff, but we're all three on the same well. And so that's very good. So I don't worry about water.
Yeah.
Unless they poison it, which has been a concern lately. That's another way they're
Yeah.
trying to kill us. I mean, look what they dumped in the Mississippi this year.
Yep.
That train wreck was right at the head of the Mississippi, all flowing down to that water. What else is there? Yeah, it's just there's no way to live up here. Like the fuel for a car and everything. I'm 9 miles from town, so but if I had a real horse, and that's the other thing, it's like, whose idea was it to make it where to McKinleyville, the town that they want to incorporate, that they're working on, they're just chomping at the bit to get a hold of it. Horses still have the right of way in that town. It's a total hick town. They have Pony Express days.
Yeah.
They have, we have these little smatterings of towns that are like super rednecky country, and then you have like the college liberal towns. So
We can ride horses through town.
yeah, well, I can't really
No
through
problem.
Arcata anywhere. There should be trails all over this county where all of us
Yes.
could ride our horses all over the place. Whose idea was it to, make you went from roads you had those type of roads that were for horses, and then they went to cars, but it's just not. Yeah, it's depopulation's the name of the game. It's not been about living in harmony and building beautiful things. I mean, are you seeing all those Tartaria photos that are pouring out now? I'm sharing them all the time on Facebook of the old world. Incredible. The stuff with the free energy poles that you can see are the Tesla poles, and the old buildings. It's just like we're so dumbed down. I don't think
Yeah.
we can really be any more dumbed down. We're dumbed down, jabbed up, maxed up, freaking halfway dead. Seriously. Sugared up, drugged up, caffeined up. I mean, what else is there? Smoked up. Oh my gosh. We're a mess. We're just a
Video
mess.
game addicted.
Huh?
Kids are playing video games nonstop.
Kids are, it's
Yes.
screened up, but we're geeked up and we're coming for you. Salty Cracker got in my head again. Can't help it. I love him. Ray.
Oh,
Makes me feel
goodness.
better.
Los Angeles.
Hey,
Did y'all hear about Death Valley?
what about it? Is the lake filling up?
Yeah, the lake and the greenery, they're seeing all these plants growing and blooming, and so these people from Germany and some other country, that they're all out there taking pictures because they don't know how long it's going to last. Of course, the water will evaporate. It's just but they said they had a year's worth of rain in one day is what did all this, and so roads are washed out.
Yeah, I think that's happened before like that. Yeah, it's crazy how fast those flowers can bloom and stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, yes, that's what they.
Yeah. So
They're seeing all kinds of wildflowers, and
awesome.
I
California's
thought that was
amazing.
pretty cool.
I mean, it's a beautiful state. It's too bad that it's been being raped for so long that, ever since the gold rush, and there's so much here to offer humanity in so many things, like with Humboldt County, the native elder, her title of her book is Our Forest is Like a Drugstore. Everything grows here. There's 78 mushrooms, different kind of mushrooms that grow out here. I mean, there's cannabis cures cancer, grows well here. There's all kinds of things that, but no, these people gotta hoard everything for themselves. They're such evil people. God has got to deal with it. We can't do anything without God, and that's the problem. Is
Yes.
America, so saturated in so much Satanism, they don't even realize it. They don't even realize it, and if they do, a lot of them don't even care. They're just like, well, it's just a little Disney, it's just a little football, it's just a little Netflix, just a little Amazon. I'm guilty of the Amazon, not the other one. So, but we're all in it. We're all in it. There's no way we're not.
But I'm not going to give, I mean, I enjoy movies. I enjoy music.
Right.
I enjoy all the things the gifts that we've been given in life. I mean, those are talents that those people have. And no, I don't listen to AC/DC anymore or
don't get Carl started, please. Carl, don't even go there, but I'm serious.
But it's still, I do like music. If it's a song that is disturbing, I don't listen to it. But I mean,
well, what's your point? You're willing to
know
be a partial heathen? I don't know what you're trying to say. What do you
I
mean?
know that we're supposed to be, that's the part I don't understand. Okay, so God created the earth, but we're not supposed to be of this world. Isn't that where something is said about that?
Yes.
And
Romans 12:1. Be not.
Does that make sense to you?
Be not but conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. And that's
Okay.
We're going to be doing that study too. So we're going to start. I'm starting a study Monday. That's what the study is called. Be ye transformed. And the point is, it's like, I know everybody doesn't want to think about God every minute of the day, but that actually is the goal. And so, like, anything that's coming up against God is not it's just like putting junky food in our body. It's just empty calories, right? And so it's not building up or adding. I mean, I watch now, thanks to Jenny, I watch some cool sailing videos. I watch TV with my husband, but I don't enjoy it like I used to. And I don't care what other people do. I don't mean to be, making people feel uncomfortable about the things that they're doing. We're all here right now. I know we're all looking for the truth, and I know we all know what the truth is in most cases.
Yes.
What we can know for sure. And I don't mean to poo-poo anybody's lifestyle. I just know for me, I still do a lot of shit. I'm in this beast system. That's what I was trying to say. I still buy from Amazon at times. I still, watch things I don't want to watch. I get frustrated. I get frustrated because I do other things too that I think are important, like learning the Constitution and going to city council meetings and going out in my community. And that's where I don't want to start comparing myself with other people either, because some people are just surviving and they're taking care of their kids and their parents. And I love y'all. I don't, it's been a hard thing to try to figure out how to think what we should all be doing. I'm not trying to worry about anybody else anymore, because that just makes me angry, and it doesn't help anybody.
No.
And it's not proper. I can't do it.
And that's when I feel that there's a message I need to get out. It's to me too. It's not just me telling everybody else this is how it should be, or this is what you need to do, or anything like that. It's usually something that that I needed to hear, and I'm just sharing it with everyone else in case someone else needed to hear it also. It's not like I don't even want to think about trying to cram something down somebody's throat. That's what we're against, is somebody putting their thoughts, their beliefs, their whatever onto you. That's not what we're here for. It's these discussions. You know, I want to hear everybody's different points of view.
Yes.
I like them.
too.
It's
Yeah.
it's because it gives you, we're supposed to be open-minded to anything. And that's when you start hearing these different views and they all make sense. So, you know, then you're like, well, it could be that, it could be this, it could be this, it could be this. And that's where I think it's our own personal relationship with God that's going to give us the discernment of what we should have in our life and what we shouldn't. And just each person has their own path, just like Pappy always said. We all have a different path that we're walking away from that campfire, but in the end, we're all going to end up right back around the campfire. And we may go, some of us may wander off and go the whole long way around, and some may find their way back easily. It's just, we're all in a different spot on that path too. It's you know, so it's, I don't know. That's just my thought.
Well, did we solve the world's problems?
No, never. I don't think that can ever happen.
I think
Well,
But it was
self-improvement and growth come at the price sometimes of discomfort. You can't always be
Yes,
comfortable to achieve things.
absolutely. I totally, yep, I agree with that. But don't get too uncomfortable.
No, I've
But I
always
think,
got more room for improvement, so there's probably going to be a lot of pains to get there.
yeah,
I think everybody's about as uncomfortable as they want to be right now, I'll bet you.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know a lot of people that are just like, everything's great. You know, everything is
no,
wonderful.
and that's,
Mhm.
I think that we're all feeling edgy because of all the, you know, we know they're not going to stop. And
Yeah.
so, of course, it's going to make you feel edgy, but that's okay. It keeps you more alert, actually. And,
Yeah.
you know, even a little fear is going to save your life. It That's why you have it.
Right.
It's not, there's no way possible to completely live without fear. I don't think.
No, I hear you, and it's probably not a good idea.
And
It's an instinct.
it's a defense mechanism.
Right.
It's,
It's an
you
instinct.
know, when even, that's why you watch the wild animals. If a deer's standing there, he's going to hear something before you do. And suddenly I have deer all around my house. It's kind of nice, but they're right there. But I don't know. I think everyone is just on edge, and so there's going to be tempers that flare over minute things, and that's where we just need to come together and be more understanding of each person's we don't know what they're going through. We don't know what they're going through at that moment or what has driven them to that point. And I've heard people say it's spinning out. Well, yep, I do that about once a week. And then, okay, if that's the way it is, then okay. But hey, Andrew, I'm glad to see you here. I have been going to visit a channel. It's Sheena's Rocks, and I don't know what the title of it is. And she has some really nice crystals and rocks and stuff like that. And she's been having Christmas sales. She does it like an auction, and some things she'll start out at $1. It just depends on the value of the whatever it is. It's her rings. Almost all of it is 925 silver. I hope I'm getting that right. Sterling silver. And some of the things that may have been used, you can still melt down the silver. So we know silver is always going to be a value, of some sort of value. So if y'all get a chance, check her out. She's a fun lady. She's always wearing a different hat. She's just down to earth. She's fun. And Andrew just reminded me of that because Andrew's Northwest Coins.
Cool.
And
welcome.
he's real good at sharing our channels whenever we're over there and visiting also. He puts our links in.
Nice.
And it's much appreciated. Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of good channels out there. I kept thinking, how did I find her? And excuse me. Magic is over there. I'm sure y'all have seen Magic at rescues or around. And he had said Mad Shad. And I said, maybe that's where I got it. And then there's a lot of handles with barbecue in it. And I said, wait, do y'all know Rockstar Barbecue? Y'all remember Rockstar Barbecue coming through chat?
I
And
don't.
she's all, I know, John. Yes. And I said, that's how I found you. Was through Rockstar Barbecue. He used to be in here a lot, and then he moved, and I don't know what happened to him. I haven't seen him going live or anything in a long time. But absolutely, Andrew, you're absolutely right. And if one of y'all wouldn't mind, Dee, did you put your channel?
No. I never put my channel.
If one of y'all wouldn't mind dropping Dee's link, and I'll put.
I'm meaner than Bonnie. You won't like me if you don't already know me. I'm a bitch. Don't follow me. It's better that they're warned now.
Oh, well, now he's going to have to go and check that out. Now you got him wondering.
Well, that's true. They do like that feisty side, don't they? They're weirdos. Man, they're always like, yeah, that was a good rant, Dee. Thanks. Like, you're welcome. I guess. Whatever. Subdue each other. I know. I don't do it much. I should. It's because it changes all the time. So, best thing to do is
I'm stuck with so many.
the
And
Rumble.
then
The Rumble's the best because I just keep it going. I'll grab my Rumble link. That's really what I should just tell people do. Just do the Rumble link. Because YouTube, I'm deleting it off of YouTube anyway. There's nothing. It looks like I'm a loser. I don't have anything on YouTube.
oh, cool.
Because I
Cutting
am a
walrus,
loser, actually. Huh?
cutting
What?
walrus ivory, making earrings right now. Oh, and y'all know Gigs,
Cool.
right? Remember Gigs?
No. Get down, kitty.
Where do I know Gigs from? But
Oh, yeah.
she's
I've
always
heard her
there.
name. I just don't know her. She was in remotes a lot, I think.
Yes. And so she's always over there at Sheena's.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much, B. Much appreciated. Is that the right one, D?
What? I was looking for it.
If it's the one you're using in chat.
Yeah, that'll work.
Gigs started on Z
Whatever
Man's
one you
channel.
want.
Thank you.
Whatever one you want.
Yep.
I'm pretty hard to follow, I guess. I'm just.
I thought
You're
she
right, y'all.
started out on. I thought she started out in Jeff Riddle's and
It probably
Carmen
was.
Hills.
Yep.
Hmm.
She was probably just, didn't she come up on panel on Roberts? Maybe.
Yeah, and
I don't
then
know.
she was helping him out when he was not part of.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna talk about all that. Never mind.
All right, y'all. We ready to wrap this up? It's
I
been
guess
3
so.
hours.
It's been fun. We had a good time. I had a great time.
Yes, I
I
enjoyed
enjoyed
it.
it.
I appreciate all y'all.
Good
Thanks for
conversation.
Thank you.
the help, Bonnie.
Yeah, Jenny,
It
you
was.
talked up a storm like
I
usual.
know. My jaw is killing me.
Aw.
I was gonna say probably her cheeks and her gut from laughing.
We did have some good laughs. It was fun.
I interjected a couple.
Our problems are solvable. Amen. I wouldn't mind praying us out if you wouldn't mind too.
Go ahead, sweetie.
Don't want to say should. We don't be shooting all over anybody. Oh, you were here. I was wondering if you were listening.
Ooh, 10 degrees where Andrew is.
Devil Dog, always
Goodness.
good to see you. All right. Ready?
Yes, please.
Okay. God, we just humbly come before you and thank you for everybody here in this chat and on this panel and anyone that'll watch the replay. Lord, we're so I don't want to say we're so confused because that's not of you, but we just want the truth, Lord, and we just want to be able to love each other and not let things get in the way. I pray you'd pour your spirit of strength and courage over this nation and this world. I pray you would equip people that are in this fight for righteousness. Take down the strongholds, Lord. Take down the enemies. Deliver us, Jesus. In your mighty name, amen.
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 Love y'all so
Thank you,
much. Bye.
Thank you. Dee. Y'all all have a good night. Thank you so much for joining us. God bless you and keep your eyes open.
And
Just
stay in prayer.
stay safe and we'll see you soon. Love y'all. Yes, we have the power. Roar.
Glory. My battery's going to die.